You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
It is time for baseball as Hyundai presents the Sunday Game of the Week. This afternoon, it's the New York Yankees against the LA Angels of Anaheim in the final game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball, along with Paul O'Neill and David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. First two games of this series for the Yankees, they have been outstanding. They've won both games yesterday by a score of 5-3. The bullpen was outstanding, and the Yankee power was there as well. And right in the middle of it is a guy who's been one of the hottest hitters in baseball, Robinson Cano.
Well, he's in the middle of a 17-game hitting streak, and what else can you say about the guy, really? I mean, the guard has changed here. He is the premier hitter in the Yankee lineup. If you look at this role, it tells you why. He uses all parts of the field, and all of a sudden, he's become a power hitter, too. He's hit 21 home runs, a 52-run home run yesterday. Robbie Cano, one of the better hitters, if not the best hitter in the American League.
17-game streak, one shot of his longest in his career. Look at the numbers: 391, 5 doubles, 6 homers, and 19 runs batted in. Well, Paul insisted that we talk hitting at the top. Now it's time to give David some love. We'll talk pitching, right? Is that good?
That's good.
All right, so let's take a look at the New York Lottery pitching matchup. It's a great matchup. Jared Weaver, look at those numbers: 10-1, 1.96. Ivan Nova, 10-3, 3.92. Both of these guys can deal, David.
Well, they can, and that's really the story of today's game. It's a great pitching matchup, two 10-game winners. Ivan Nova seems to just continue to evolve before our eyes, and it's really because of that slider. He's able to finish off hitters much better than earlier in the year, and he's really on a roll. And Jared Weaver, what can you say about him? He had a no-hitter earlier this year. Over the last 2 years, he's got the best numbers in Major League Baseball. Really knows how to pitch. He's the guy that's going to be the stopper for the Angels today, because they need to get a win before they get out of the Bronx.
The Yankees would love to sweep this series for sure, and what they've done for most of the season, they've gone from Mariano to Soriano. How good has the new Yankee closer been? Paul O'Neill will tell you when we return in just a moment on Yes. Baseball, everybody. A couple of moments away from Yankees and the Angels. That's Paul O'Neill. I'm Michael Kay. David Cohn will rejoin us in just a moment. You have to wonder, what would life be like without Mariano Rivera? I know for about 15, 16 years people thought about that. Well, for a long stretch of time now, Mariano's on the DL, probably out the remainder of the season. And Rafael Soriano has made that loss a little more bearable.
Well, as soon as that happened and Mariano's hurt, there was a big question mark. How are the Yankees going to survive? And Soriano has stepped into this position. He looks much more comfortable in this position than he did setting up, and it's been just a blessing for the Yankees. He's done nothing other than come in, shut the door down day after day. 2 saves in this series, 22 out of 23 for the year. Unbelievable job so far.
He really has been amazing, and you can see he likes being a closer much more than being a 7th or 8th inning guy. He's been lights out out for the Yankees. How much so he became the closer on May 10th. He had a save against the Rays. 22 of 23, as Paul mentioned, tied for the fourth most in the American League. A 1.14 ERA, just 7 walks and 25 strikeouts during that span. After the game yesterday, Joe Girardi was asked, can you imagine how much Soriano has meant to this team?
It's hard to say where we'd be without him. You know, after losing Mo, you know, there's concern and trying to replace Mo and the pressure that you probably have to feel a little bit can't be easy. A lot of times people always talk about being the second guy to replace a legend. And I'm not saying that Mo's not coming back, but it's a little easier to be that guy. And Soriano's been tremendous.
Well, will they need him today? He can pitch 3 days in a row. Ivan Nova would like to turn in a complete game. Let's see if it's in him when we come back. Lineups, first pitch, baseball next, right here on Yes. Brought to you in part by Benjamin Moore. Visit BenjaminMoore.com/promo for $5 off a gallon of Benjamin Moore paints and stains. By Domino's. Order a handmade inspired pizza at Domino's.com and see the progress of your order in real time with Domino's Tracker. And by Chase, with more innovative ways to make your banking easier. Take a step forward and chase what matters. Downpour about 7:30 this morning here at the stadium. The infield was covered, but it is cleared enough to play some baseball. A little bit of an overcast, hazy evening or afternoon as we get ready for baseball. Final game of this 3-game set. And let's take a look at the Angels lineup. That's going to face Ivan Nova. You see the first man walking up to the plate. Mike Trout's at left. Eric Ibar, the shortstop, at second. Albert Pujols at first will hit third. Cleaning up DH, Kendrys Morales. Mark Trumbo in right field will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing third base, Alberto Callaspo. Maestros Torres at second base will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing center field, Peter Borges. Bobby Wilson is going to catch, and he's going to bat ninth. So Ivan Nova is ready. So is Trout, and let's do it here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. First pitch is up and in, and we are underway.
His 18th start on the year. You see that record. He's just a winner, Paulie. I mean, his whole career, you know, he's had good run support, but he just knows how to win. And you see the hits to innings pitch a little high, but the walks are down, only 33.
1-1 count on Trout. 5 for 9 so far in the series, and he skies that one to right field. Swisher is there, and there's one out here in the first. Let's take a look at the McDonald's scouting report.
Look, you know, extra base hits, XBH, you know, he does have 55 extra base hits, which is the most in the majors, but post All-Star break, he's undefeated in his career. He's 8-0 and 11 starts following the All-Star break with a 3.18 ERA. That's pretty good. And taking the lead, he's 27-2 in 42 career starts in which he has pitched with a lead. The Yankees are 35-7 in those outings, so get him some runs and watch him go.
I'll tell you what, Michael, when we did a game early in spring training and they were still saying that Ivan Nova was fighting for a job, and Coney, you brought it up, this kid knows how to win, and for him not to just to be a mainstay here for years to come, some guys just know when they go out on the mound that somehow they're going to figure out how to win.
And the record tells you that, 10-3. And he's working his ERA down from a high at the beginning now to 3.92. The 1-0 to Ibar. That one's drilled deep to right field. There it goes. What a shot. See ya. A long home run for Ibar, and the Angels are on the board. They lead 1-0.
Tell you what, I know. Somebody, Cody, I think you said a little bit on the first game. Guys come into Yankee Stadium, and that right field porch just catches your eye as a hitter. And you look for a ball to hit, and this ball was right down the middle of the plate. Something you can pull. You got the bat hat out quick. Oh, it's a good feeling as a hitter.
Well, that's starting it early. A little bit of an uppercut, and you're right. He's doubled his home run total on the year here at Yankee Stadium in this series.
Here's Pujols, and there's a strike.
Once in a while you see fastball, try to get through that first inning, and then you see one go in the upper deck. You might throw in a couple curves here. Always noticed a really good pitchers, Cody, love to get through the first part of the order, just with one, maybe two pitches. Don't show everything you have.
That one is drilled deep to left field. Ibanez back on the track. See ya. A long home run for Albert Pujols as the Angels go back-to-back against Nova to take a 2-0 lead.
Tony, you said it. I mean, extra base hits. Well, these are included, these home runs. And Albert Pujols, obviously, he's going to hit his share. Not up to par what he usually does, but, kind of a hanging curveball. And this is the second curveball that he saw in the count. And as a hitter, I can tell you, when you've seen it, you can pick it up better. And, it was only a couple pitches before he saw the rotation of this curveball. Just absolutely killed this one.
No stride, just a little bit of a weight transfer and a recognition of that hanging curveball. They go a long way.
Cody, you come out of the pen and your fastball's been taken out to right field. Then you hung a curveball. Now what do you go with?
Try to change up.
You better go to your third or fourth. Such a good thing about solo home runs, though, is they seem like such a big thing, but all of a sudden you look, it seems like a huge first inning. It's 2-0, and you've got an offense that yesterday shot back 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. So you just try to find a rhythm, try to shut them down for a few innings, and you'll look up at the scoreboard and you'll be back in this game.
Well, we talked at the pregame show about kind of the evolution of Nova, and he seems to be getting better and better. But those extra base hits are really a result of Wild in the strike zone. And when he gets that slider down, he can finish hitters off and get swings and misses. It's still relatively a new pitch for him. He's picked up that slider really last year, and it's getting better and better. But when he hangs it, it gets banged. You hang it, we bang it, and Nova's suffered from that this year.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Morales has not looked good in this series. Looks like he's struggling. 2 away. Let's take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Outfield for the Yankees, Ibanez, Granderson, and Swisher left to right. Infield, A-Rod, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira third to first. Russell Martin's behind the plate after having yesterday off. And you know that Nova is on the mound.
Saw that last pitch. That was that slider down and in that he has a lot of success with. And my question, Coney, is when you get into learning another breaking ball, whether you kind of lose the feel of both of them. You kind of have an average curveball and an average slider instead of sticking with one. Because I know Phil Hughes has gotten away from that cutter, and he's a much better pitcher.
Yes, the simplified approach for Phil Hughes has really done well for him.
Trumbo pops it up foul.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, that's a big hack there. And again, if you look at the location of that pitch, that doesn't have either corner. That ball is right down the center of the plate. Just, too much with. You're lucky to get that one back.
He's got that one timed. He's just under it. You can see.
Trumbo's had really good numbers against Nova. 6 for 10 and 2 of the 6 home runs. So a rocky start for the young right-hander. Swing and a miss.
You see that pitch right there? I mean, even on the monitor, almost looked like a fastball to the end, and that's what fools the hitter. You know, it stays in the zone a long time. You commit to it, and that's where you get that late break.
A hard slider in the upper 80s too.
Swing and a miss. Trumbo down on strikes. But the Angels have given one of the best pitchers in baseball a 2-0 lead. First, Eric Ibarra hits one into the second deck in right. And then one of the great power hitters of all time, Albert Pujols, goes over State Farmville. Angels 2, Yankees coming to bat. Jared Weaver is the recipient of those runs. Here's the Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter leads off. Batting second, the center fielder, Curtis Granderson. Alex Rodriguez at third base will hit third. Cleaning up, second baseman Robinson Cano. Mark Teixeira at first base, bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing right field, Nick Swisher. Raul Ibanez at left field will hit seventh. Batting eighth and DHing today, Eric Chavez. Now Russell Martin will catch, and he's going to bat ninth.
Get a look at Mr. Weaver. He seems stretching out that back. He did go on the DL earlier this year with a little back problem. Trying to keep it loose, but 10-1 and a 1.96 ERA. That tells you all you need to know. Look at 65 hits and 96 and 2/3 innings. That's pretty good. And the McDonald's pitcher scouting report, you can't touch this. He's 4-0 with an 0.33 ERA over his last 4 starts. And get me out of the Bronx. He struggled in the Bronx. Had a 5.83 ERA in the Bronx. Although he does have a 2-2 record, and power versus success on the end of that scouting report. You know, he leads the Yankees lead the majors with 138 home runs. He's only given up 5.
A little bit high. Rock that camera.
Camera's back there rolling around.
So one of your lines there in the scouting report was "Get me out of the Bronx." I think his brother felt the same way. Jared's brother Jeff was a Yankee for a bit.
Do a little MC Hammer in there. You can't touch these too, Comer. I like that. You know, if you look at those numbers, 10-1, unbelievable ERA. Last year, same kind of deal. You would think that this guy's just an overpowering flamethrower. I mean, he's a pitcher, and he's deceiving. You'll see he turns his back, hides the baseball, but he knows how to pitch. I mean, he's not throwing. You see that he's not throwing fastballs by, but he sets up things. You really have to appreciate watching him, Comer.
Yeah, you really do. As you see from the wins leaders, David Price having a great year in Tampa. Yeah, under the radar, Matt Harrison as well. But over the last couple of years, this guy Weaver has just been lights out. It is deceptive. His fastball kind of has a little ride on it, even though it's only in the upper 80s. But that crossfire, as you watch him land, he really throws across his body.
Derek Jeter wraps one into center field. It is caught by Peter Borges. Well, we've seen Borges, so let's take a look at the entire Angels defensive schematic, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. On either side of Borges, Trout's at left, Trumbo's in right. Infield, Cayaspo, Ibar, Esturas, and Pujols. Third to first, Wilson behind the plate, and Weaver is on the mound. Now, David mentioned Weaver going on the shelf with the bad back. That came against the Yankees, a game in Anaheim on May 28th. When you look at his numbers, 10-1, that's after missing 3 weeks. So in 3 weeks, you might make 4 or 5 starts. There's a base hit in front of Trumbo for Granderson. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. Everyone crossing their fingers, hoping the rain holds off. 86 degrees, 61% humidity, not much wind, and the forecast is mostly cloudy and humid. Here's Alex Rodriguez.
I believe that humidity. That's how I walked across the field today and just continued to walk right into the Yankee clubhouse. Right when you got out on the field, you felt that humidity today, and it's always a good day to hit. And that humidity's up, ball carries well.
Runner goes, and the ball popped up and out of play. Good jump for Granderson, but he'll have to head back. Before the game, it was discussed that Alex Rodriguez's numbers as a DH are off the charts better than when he's a third baseman. And he's at third base today with Chavez DHing. And Girardi was asked about it. He said, I'm aware of those numbers. He said, but they are not influencing at this point the decision I make. I think that Wilson got hit. Yeah, he did in the backswing. I asked Alex today if he knew about the disparity in the numbers. He said, I didn't until I saw it on the scoreboard yesterday. That one is driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. A home run for Alex Rodriguez. A 2-run shot. It's 2-2. Alex likes hitting against the Angels. That's his 70th home run against this franchise. And that's the most he has against any team. It's his first home run in his last 49 at-bats. And oh yeah, by the way, the 643rd home run of his career.
Again, this is where he's dangerous, where he can get his arms extended and drive the ball, and you see that, just like Albert Pujols. When he hits it, you know it's gone. Again, this is like a replay of yesterday. Anaheim scores a couple, Yankees come right back and score a couple in the bottom.
Anyway, in finishing the point about DHing in third base, I asked him if he was aware. He said he wasn't until he saw it on the scoreboard. He said, I really don't make anything of it. He goes, I don't feel better as a DH or stronger. I don't feel weaker as a third baseman. He said, I think sometimes numbers happen. He said, early in the season, I couldn't hit lefties. He goes, I think I was 0 for 21. I love hitting lefties, and now I'm hitting lefties. He said, I'm sure it'll turn that I'll hit when I'm a third baseman. So with one swing, maybe it started to turn.
Just the 6th home run that Weaver's given up all year as well. Alex looked ready from the first pitch, even though he hit the catcher in the middle of the bag with that swing. That was a good swing.
Cano now 1-2.
We'll see what Weaver does. I mean, he'll change speeds on his fastball. He'll even change speeds on his breaking ball, and he took a lot off of that pitch.
One more thing about Alex, if you're wondering, he hits .353 as a DH, and as a third baseman, he hits .240. Some everyday players who play the field, they find it uncomfortable to DH.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan. I think that's something you get used to and you can become good at it. But I think if you're used to playing in the field, I think that it takes your mind off of hitting. And, you know, if you sit there and dwell on it the whole time, it can eat at you when you don't go out on the field.
Cano wraps one up the middle. And that now ties the longest hitting streak of his career. He's hit in 18 straight.
You know, it's just, you assume that he's going to walk up to the plate and you assume he's going to hit one right on the nose and hard. You just wonder if it's going to be at somebody or if it's going to be hit. And right here you see Weaver miss completely across the plate. And when Robbie's swinging the bat that well, you see he's behind the ball, great balance. Doesn't try to do too much, just laces it back up the middle.
So Cano ties 2 career highs with that hit. An 18-game hitting streak, which he's had twice before. And now he's reached base safely in each of his last 21 games. And that's a career high, which was reached in 2010. So 21 straight.
Paulie, there's been a lot of talk about radar gun readings coming out of the hand. Now we've got technology that measures the velocity off the bat. The one Cano just hit, that had to be about 120 miles an hour.
Bullet. It has to be harder than the pitch coming in, right?
Absolutely. You know, Weaver threw that about 88. I'm guessing that was well over 100 miles an hour coming off that bat.
Whoa. Ball goes one way, bat goes another. And Spike Lee has a souvenir.
Make a movie out of that one.
He's keeping it, he said. Hey, do the right thing. Give the bat back.
I see he's a lefty.
He's keeping it. I guess he's got to have it. The 1-2. 2-2.
Well, better blues. Yes. That's right. Your uncle was in one of his movies, wasn't he, Mike?
Yeah, Do the Right Thing. Got an Academy Award nomination. That's the sheriff, swings and misses. Played the pizza store.
That was your uncle that sang at the wedding?
Yeah.
Good.
You liked it, didn't you?
I did.
Here's Nick Swisher. Nick has 5 hits in his last 10 at-bats. Had kind of a rough road trip to end the first half, but certainly picking it up. David, what a pick-me-up that must be to Nova. You give up 2 runs to a guy who has a 1.9 ERA, and then your team gets it right back.
It's huge, you know, and if you're sitting on the bench, okay, it's 0-0 again. Your mentality is okay, it's still a tie game. Early, obviously, the first inning. Similar storyline to yesterday's game as well.
2-0.
Nick Swisher with the glasses on hitting. I wore the glasses in the outfield. I never could understand how you could hit with them. Bernie used to hit with them too. It just seemed to me you couldn't see the seams of the baseball well enough.
You can see Swisher did not like that call by Tim Welke, the home plate ump.
Sequence of pitches where the pitch before Weaver didn't like is he didn't get the call. And this ball right here, you see as a hitter, you kind of give up on it because it's so high, but it's so slow that it drops.
Almost came out of his shoes on that one.
Covering those off-speed pitches you just saw away, and all of a sudden he sneaks a fastball, and you know you got to be a little quicker. See him pull those hands in just to try to get to it because he was a little late.
Check this out, Paul. A lot of 2s. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. It's a good poker hand.
I was going to say.
Runner goes. Foul bat.
You notice a lot of things, don't you?
There's so much going on in his head.
Room for it all to happen, too.
Wow. As Flaherty would say, that's a shot.
Took him to the 3rd game of the series. I've been waiting all weekend for that.
You feel better when it's fouled straight back? Does that feel you're right on it, Paul?
Well, you know, with this at bat here, he's got him going out and in and in. But to me, right now, Nick Swisher has kind of fouled away the pitches Weaver thought he could get out. And, you know, anytime you're a hitter and you see this many pitches, and I think you're in an advantage.
And now it's 3-2.
It's frustrating on the mound too, Paulie. You know, you make pitch after pitch, and you want him to put it in play or you know, get him out. And you pushed him up to the 25 pitch level here in the first inning, which is another good sign for the Yankees. And Weaver came in hot. It's over 20 inning scoreless streak that's now been broken here in the first, and they pushed his pitch count up to where they want it to be.
Swing and a miss. 69-mile-an-hour pitch, and Swisher down on strikes. But the Yankees tie the score. Alex Rodriguez hadn't hit a home run in a while. In his 85th at-bat as a DH, he had 3 home runs, but now he collects one as a third baseman. Tie game and an ice pop. Today's question is, what was the most exciting finish from Saturday's games? Here are your choices to vote on at 42951. Cabrera steals home, and then Venable follows him on the same play to win against the Dodgers. Ludwig's walk-off home run for Cincinnati. Sanchez's walk-off single for San Francisco. And Taylor Teagarden's walk-off home run for the Orioles against the Tigers. A lot of good finishes in Major League Baseball yesterday. Text your vote to 42951. Standard text messaging rates apply. The 0-1 to Cayaspo. That's looped into right center field. And it's caught there by Granderson. Granderson plays a fairly shallow center, and that allowed him to get to that ball.
It's a hard play to judge as an outfielder because, I mean, this is an uppercut swing. And you know, usually you're going to put some air on it, but he was jammed. See, Granderson went a long way to get it. Granderson starts over in left center. Took a good angle of the ball. I'll tell you one thing. You were talking about highlights from yesterday, and I caught some highlights. Did you see some of the stuff that King Felix was throwing up there last night?
Yes, yeah, he was filthy.
I mean, it was unhittable, and that's, I mean, Texas, one of the premier offensive teams in baseball.
Keeps flying under the radar out there in Seattle, you know, and year after year he keeps putting up the numbers.
We talk about so many pitchers that might be traded, and you know, guys like Cole Hamels and like that sort of a pitcher. But there's some murmurs that Seattle is so far away, and they could plug up so many holes if they decided to trade this guy who signed. Now, he's such a great pitcher, and you don't want to deal him. But, boy, if you could get him in a deal, you kind of empty out the farm system for him.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to figure at some point, all right, he's going to be in his prime for, what, the next 5 years or so. Is this team in any shape or form going to be able to compete or win in 5 years? And the answer is probably not with the way Texas is looking right now. And it's you're right. I think you could plug up 3 or 4 positions and some unbelievable prospects to trade a guy like that.
This is an important stretch for Mike Scioscia's team. 18 of their next 21 games they play against over 500 teams, and they're going to see exactly where they are at the end of that stretch. And they're chasing a very good team.
Just kind of wondering why Torrey Hunter had the day off, but you see Borges' numbers there: 625, 5 for 8 off of Nova. Sometimes managers will give guys days off, especially when the matchups are in their favor.
Fly ball, center field. A nice bounce back inning for Ivan Nova as he retires the Angels in order. 1, 2, 3 on just 8 pitches. We're going to go to the bottom of the second. Raul Ibanez will start it off. For a special giveaway when the Yankees take on the Blue Jays, the first 18,000 guests 14 and younger are going to receive a limited edition miniature collectible Yankees Ford Escape, courtesy of your Tri-State Ford dealers. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Here's Ibanez, swings at the first pitch and grounds it to second. Here's Torres, 1 away. How about being in this company? You look at Jared Weaver, and if you're a pitcher, I mean, there are some holy names out there, and probably the holiest is Sandy Koufax. He's the first pitcher other than Sandy Koufax since 1950 to have back-to-back seasons with 10 or more wins and an under 2 ERA. So that's dealing.
You hear stories from older players, and that name, Sandy Koufax, always comes up, and it's just must have been unbelievable stuff.
I've had people tell me that actually faced Sandy Koufax that you could hear his pitches. Like you could hear the curveball and the as it came by you with the seams cutting through the air. And a base hit for Chavez.
I'll tell you what, got on top of that ball. That ball was in his eyes. as a hitter, you really have to stay, you know, with your top hand. You have to stay on top of that ball, or you do nothing but pop it up. That ball way up in the strike zone.
Chavez is a really good high fastball hitter for a left-handed batter. You know, we talked a lot about lefties like the ball down. No, we've seen Chavez do this all year long. And that is almost above the ladders.
Martin fouls the bat.
We talked a little bit just coming out of the All-Star break how important it is for Russell Martin to get off to a good start, and he had that big game, that big hit, and yesterday he had the day off. So you know, you got to try to keep building, you know, on good games, and all of a sudden some of these numbers will disappear, especially from your head. I think they're in your head more than anywhere else.
A bunt. Callaspo fields, fires, got him. And Chavez was going, and he ends up on second. It's a little bunt and run.
Yeah, good. I mean, good, smart play. I mean, obviously it was bunting a little hard, but you know, then you make the defense make a perfect play, which he did. These are the things that happen when you're struggling at the plate. Everybody bare hands it, makes a perfect play.
A little softer, he's got an easy hit. You see, he just got a little too much of it and bunted it a bit too hard.
Scotty Broch's play. Never saw anybody any better than barehanding that ball. This is interesting, Michael. No sacrifice there. Scored a 5-3.
You know, I like that scoring. I don't think he was sacrificing. He was bunting for a hit. Usually at home, you're going to get that call, so you don't get the points taken off your batting average, but I thought that's the right call. And Howie Carpenter is the official scorer today. Jeter takes a strike. Jeter lined out to center to open up the first inning. Hit up the middle. Chavez rounds third. He's coming home. Borges' throw is cut off, and they get Jeter rounding for the final out. But Jeter picks up a hit, and the Yankees take the lead 3-2. Here's the base hit to center field. Borges came up throwing.
The second baseman sneaks in right behind Jeet. Good play by Pujols. Almost kind of a set play.
A good throw by Borges, a good cut by Pujols, and the second baseman, Torres, is there to get Jeter. automatically think, well, that wasn't a good base running maneuver, but instead it was a great defensive play.
It really was. And what you don't see in this replay is this how much room. You see him coming in from behind, but how much room he covered. And Pujols, this is almost a set play. Pujols did not even hesitate. He knew he was going to be there. Really good play by the Angels.
So Jeter picks up a ribby, and he is out at first for the final out. So the Yankees now have a 3-2 lead, and the first pitch to Bobby Wilson is up and in. 1-0. It'll be Wilson, Trout, and Eyeball.
Tough day for Bobby Wilson. He got A-Rod's bat in the middle of his back, and now a little wake-up call from Mr. Nova.
What happens on that pitch, Coney? It just slips, or just
I
get too much movement?
I think you just rush. Yeah, you get out of sync a little bit.
A lot of those things pitchers were trying to get up there, but I mean, leadoff pitch, first pitch, I mean, there's no intent. You just lost the grip of the baseball or something.
Yeah, sometimes you just try to overthrow it, or you just rush, fly open a little bit.
So the Lincoln scoreboard, 3-2 Yankees.
Oh, Cody just said that. It reminds me of the old days where you were screaming in the dugout at the opposing pitcher. You're hitting your foot. You're flying open. Cody was great at getting on the opposing pitcher. That little league, you could really razz guys. Right. Not too many people could get under pitcher skins, but I used to see Cody try over there. That's a fun day.
David, you can hear on the mound what the other team's saying in the dugout?
Oh,
even with a big crowd?
Sure. Yes. You can definitely hear, because right now in between pitches the crowd's pretty quiet.
Foul ball.
There's a few things you can hear coming screaming from and usually it's the hitter that just made an out. He's screaming, "You got nothing," and then you had Coney over there going over his mechanics. So we had it covered.
Today's closed captioning is brought to you by Lexus. And the 3-2. Fly ball right field. Backing up is Swisher. He's on the track, reaching for the wall. He makes the play for the first out. And that's going to bring up Jersey's own Mike Trout.
You see one thing about having a young player that's one of your star players is you don't have to worry about days off, days after night games. I mean, this guy's in the lineup every day, ready to play, excited to play.
Our good buddy David Wells is at the ballpark today. He was telling Coney and I that Coney and me, I want to say grammatically correct, that he spoke with Torrey Hunter, who was really taking on almost a mentoring role with Trout. And Hunter was just amazed at how much Trout absorbs. And there's David Wells with Dick Stockton doing the game on TBS. He said he just knows the game and wants to learn more, and he watches everything. He said, I don't mind being a mentor to him at all. And he's mentoring him just fine. 347 leads the American League by a lot.
I'll tell you what, it's fun to come to the plate. When you look up at the scoreboard, you talk about Alex Rodriguez seeing the scoreboard, and you see numbers like that, it almost pats you on the back to have another good at bat.
Fly ball deep center, giving chase Granderson on the run. He makes the play. Oh, what a play by Granderson. He hits the wall and he holds on.
I'll tell you what, Trout was digging too. You had a chance. If this ball goes off his glove, you've got a chance of an inside the park homer. And this is a great play because he's running and he has to reach with his glove across his body. At full sprint. Great play by Granderson.
Boy, I tell you what, you couldn't draw it up any better for a center fielder. You run to a spot, you look away from the ball. Watch Granderson here as he's full speed. Now he's going to check the wall just for a minute and then pick the ball back up. And you know you're going to have a bang against the wall there. Let me check the wall, quick peek, I'm there, readjust, off the wall. Got it.
Michael, you said, I mean, another thing is he plays a shallow center field. And he got to that ball.
Nice play by Teixeira as the Yankees flashing some leather. for the final 2 outs. Great play by Granderson as he robs the rookie Mike Trout of at least a triple, maybe more. Full extension in the glove, hits the wall, and he holds on. Yes is brought to you in part by Atlantic City. Do anything, do everything, do AC. By J&R Music and Computer World. And by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. That happens a lot. You make a great play and you lead off the inning. And here is Curtis Granderson. Got a nice hand from the crowd.
Michael, I told you a few years ago that it's been scientifically proven. You didn't believe me.
No, I didn't.
That when you're leading off the next inning, you're a little more excited and you're a little more, into it, ready to go, and make better plays.
So all your good plays when you were leading off?
I can't remember that long ago, but it had to be a few of them. Because believe me, when you're out there and you haven't hit in a while and you're leading off the inning, you're mentally getting ready to go.
Lincoln scoreboard 3-2 Yanks. As much as I'd want to make light of that, that does make sense. That you'd be locked in, and he's locked in home run rise at 24. Bautista and Dunn lead with 27. Weaver steps off, and Granderson wipes the sweat from his eyes. It is hot on that field today. As Paul mentioned, you go down the field, it's very steamy. High fly ball. Borges is there and makes the play for the first out. Here's Alex Rodriguez coming up against Weaver. So the Yankees have 3 runs against Weaver. And that's not insignificant because he had a 20 2/3 consecutive scoreless inning streak coming into this game. And also another stat that just blew me away. The Yankees are leading 3-2 now. So they have now scored 3 or more runs in each of the last 39 games. You might say, well, is that a big deal? They have never done that in the history of this franchise. The previous record was 38 straight games set back in 1933. And that's in a single season.
We saw history, Mike.
Now, over 2 years in the 50s, they did it 49 straight, so that's just a single season record.
see a lot of pitches in. He's starting him away, and well, Alex hit a ball away out of here, so you would think went to the breaking ball, but he tried to bust him in this plate appearance, and he just didn't get the calls. Two good at bats by Alex.
All of a sudden for Alex too, you look at his numbers, 14 home runs and 40 RBIs looks a lot better than 13 and 38 for some reason.
As soon as it's funny when you're hitting 299, 300 is so much better. If you've got 79 RBIs, 80 looks so much better. You're right, Cohen.
Cano with a single in the first inning. He extended his hitting streak to 18 straight. And another base hit. Trumbo fields it out there. A-Rod will go to third. So Cano is 2 for 2.
Well, again, Robbie Cano, when he's locked in, if he swings at strikes, which he does here, a little hanging breaking ball, he's just going to hit balls hard time and time again. And I don't know if, looking at this, Coney, and if this just is a bad matchup for Weaver because these guys seem to handle and wait him out till he misses, or if he has a little problem pitching here in New York.
Seems like the Yankee approach has been very aggressive. A lot of first pitch swings, looking for that first fastball to get off of Weaver.
We have 7 hits against Jared Weaver. It's the third inning. This is a high quality starter who came in at 1.96 ERA. Pitch outside.
Would you say that stat was a 33 Yankees? 1933 Yankees.
Right. Single season had scored 3 or more runs in 38 straight games. Now it's 39 straight for this team.
Wow. Pretty good lineup back in 1933 the Yankees had. Lou Gehrig hit 334, had 32 home runs and 139 RBIs in 1933. Babe Ruth hit 301, had 34 homers and 103 RBIs.
That was a little down year for Babe.
Well, he was moving toward the end then.
Yeah.
Teixeira took a very long stroll. He did not like that call.
Tough one to hit right there. That ball's sinking below down the mid shin. You like that pitch, don't you?
Well, that side view maybe changed my mind just a bit there. Well, a lot of it depends on where the catcher sets up. If the catcher sets up pretty far back away from home plate, and as we saw with Wilson, he got drilled in the middle of the back with one of those whirly bird swings from A-Rod. He might have moved back just a little bit. So when the catcher's setting up this far back, I mean, Yogi Berra used to sit up here back in the day. You think about that with a higher strike zone.
Yeah, they hardly even squatted down back there. Kind of a half stance back there as the catchers.
Wilson's moved back a little bit.
They have Cano picked off. He's trying to stay in a rundown. And now they might have a double play as Alex got home and he's out.
I don't know about this. Oh, we get to watch it in replay anyway.
So the Yankees run themselves out of the inning. Cano gets picked off. He gets tagged out in a rundown. Then A-Rod takes off. Let's see if they got Cano. If they did, they got him on the foot. That was definitely the calf. And then A-Rod darts for home, and he is tagged out by Wilson. Not a pretty play by the Yankees as we move to the fourth. is, this season Robinson Cano has 26 doubles. Who are the only 3 Yankees all time with 50 or more doubles in a season? Pujols grounds one foul. Benjamin Moore scoreboard, 3-2 Yankees lead. That one is drilled deep to left field. Foul ball.
Just hear that different sound when Pujols. He seems to be a little more locked in today. He's on every single pitch, but boy, when he hits it, you hear that sound. It's just a little bit different than most players.
There's a base hit. Sounds like a broken bat. So Pujols is 2 for 2.
Wednesday, track and field legend Carl Lewis sits down with Michael Kay for a new GMC Presents Center Stage. With the Olympics later this month, the 9-time gold medalist discussed his storied career, including his rivalry with Canadian sprinter Ben Johnson. It's a new Center Stage Wednesday at 10 o'clock, only on Yes. You meet a lot of people.
Yes, I do. Very lucky. Here's Kendrys Morales. Hey, by the way, that double play, and if you're keeping score at home, it scored 1-3-6-2, came off the famous Jeff Nelson move that never works. And it worked to the point of a double play. And this is the last year that you're going to see that, because they're outlawing that move next year, and I'm going to call it a balk.
We better enjoy it while we can.
Yes. And it wasn't the extreme Jeff Nelson, and you'll see here, it wasn't a big kick toward third, just a baby kick.
That's the way you're supposed to do it, though. You know, the best move I've ever seen of that ilk was by Steve Busby, the former Royals pitcher who had a couple of no-hitters. As you see, A-Rod is out at home, too. But you do the quick move like that. You don't do the full leg kick like a left-handed pitcher would. You got to be quick with your feet, and he was.
Grounded to short. Jeter fields, goes to second one. No return. Good play by Jeter.
Steve Busby, you know, just to finish that point, was a great pitcher for the Royals back in the 70s. I think he's a broadcaster in Texas now. The radio and does a little bit of both, but he had the best pickoff move like that I've ever seen, Pauline. It was just like that. He didn't do the big leg kick. He would give you a quick step to third and wheel around and pick guys off of first, and he had several pickoffs like that with that move. He had 2 no-hitters early in his career and with the Royals, and blew out his shoulder before they knew how to fix him, before arthroscopic surgery.
You see that good breaking ball there from Nova. I'm trying to remember how you hold that one, Coney.
You know, we've been talking during this series about Mike Scioscia's being pestered back in California about putting Trumbo behind Pujols rather than Morales. Morales does not seem dangerous in this 3-game set. Trumbo certainly has been. Well, Elias did a nice thing. They pulled out the difference between Pujols with Morales batting behind him and then with Trumbo. Pujols hits .251 with Morales hitting directly behind him. He hits .368 with Trumbo behind him.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
And how about this? 195 at-bats with Morales, 7 home runs. And 76 at-bats with Trumbo, also 7 home runs. Although Pujols has one today, so it's 8 with Morales and almost triple the at-bats. And Scioscia's reasoning is he wants to switch hitter, batting fourth.
They're doing something right as a team, because you remember we did the early series, they were off to a horrible start, and they played really well to get back, and obviously if the season was over today, they'd be in the playoffs as a wild card team. So they fought themselves back into the race.
Line drive, a base hit for Trumbo.
Oh, those hitters' days, Coney. Balls are getting hit hard.
It's a humid day, too, and the ball's traveling very well. hot days, day games at Yankee Stadium, the ball can really start to fly. And Trumbo has proved that he can hit a fastball in the inner half of the plate. Nova threw a few sliders his last time, and he didn't look so great on those pitches, but he's always ready for that heater, it looks like.
Pitch to Callaspo is upstairs.
Callaspo's made some good plays at third base this series defensively.
Lofted, left center. Ibanez will make the play for the second out.
The difference in that swing where, you know, some of these guys are really attacking the ball, and Callaspo just kind of, you know, just threw the bat out there, not much behind it, just kind of served it out to left field.
Count 1-0 to his choice. Morales at second, Trumbo at first. Two
I'll tell you, every once in a while, he just gets a wicked break on that curveball. That was a ball, but still the break on that thing.
You're right, Paulie. He features a couple of different kinds of breaking balls. A really hard slider in the upper 80s and that curveball. Sometimes you can get caught in between a little bit with your grip. You know, it's hard to have both working in one game or one inning. Sometimes it's one or the other that works on any given day. If you have both of them working on a good day, then you're going to pitch well.
And he walked him to load the bases. Walked the Stores on 4 pitches.
These are the outs in the game that you look back and there's usually 2 or 3 big ones. And right here, you know, you got bases loaded, 2 outs. You know, an opportunity to get out of here with nothing, or, you know, a big hit. The Angels are off and running.
You know, we talked a lot about it. You know, Nova's career record, and he's a winner, and all that's true. But the last hurdle for him to overcome to really become a frontline starter is that consistency level. You know, when he's good, he's really good. But when he hangs it, you know, as we showed in the pregame, he gives up a lot of extra base hits and 2 home runs here today. So kind of a little bit of all or nothing.
95-mile-an-hour fastball to Borges.
He learns how to just be a little more consistent, you know, and not be so wild in the strike zone here and there. Then those extra base hits will come down, and he will move to the top of the rotation.
It was more of his fastball or his curveball?
A little bit of both, yeah. But more, I think most of his extra base hit trouble this year has probably come on that hanging the curveball.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Another fastball outside, 1-1.
Seems to start to reach back here, you know, with the bases loaded. He's trying to add a little bit here. His 2 best fastballs at 95. That's something you like to see too from a young pitcher. Somebody, you know, you're on the line right here, bases loaded. You can reach back for a little something.
Popped up. Long run for Ibanez and Jeter. Ibanez makes the play. And that will do it as Nova escapes trouble. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and the bases are left loaded. Leading off, Mark Teixeira in the bottom of the inning. Breakers Quit Line Quiz. This season, Robinson Cano has 26 doubles, who are the only 3 Yankees all-time with 50 or more doubles in a season. I believe that Mattingly's one. Mattingly, Gehrig, and Alfonso Soriano. Donnie holds the record with 53. Teixeira taps one slowly to the third baseman, Kai Aspo. They had the shift on. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Good call there, Mike. I would have called that to the shortstop. It's right there. Got to bet that shift.
See that says Tad right there? Our cameraman in the Yankee dugout. It's his birthday today. He's the only 15-year-old cameraman in all of Major League Baseball, so happy birthday, Tad.
Did I like draw straws and whoever loses has to carry the camera, or guys that get lessons stand behind the one?
Well, Tad's got a strong back, so they let him do it, yeah.
Figure
and the other cameraman could beat him up, so.
Figure on your birthday, you get to come in one of the air-conditioned booths, right? Hey, Jack, you mind going down on the field?
The 0-1. There's a strike. Benjamin Moore scoreboard. Yankees lead 3-2. I talked to Swisher and Teixeira and asked them, do they change bats when they bat right-handed or left-handed? They both said no, they use the exact bat. And the only switch hitter that they could think of that changes bats and how heavy it is Chipper Jones.
I know Bernie used the same bat.
Because I would figure one side's got to be a dominant side. Maybe that's the side that used the heavier bat, but they said they both use the same.
What's amazing to me, how many companies are out now. I mean, there was only literally a couple of companies when we were playing, Coney, and now there's just different paints and finishes and weights and just so many more models that these guys can choose from.
Why don't the 3 of us get into a bat business and call the eyeball bats, because you used to draw eyes on the bat.
That's right. Well, you know what? If you were having a bad thing and you drew the glasses on there to make it a little smarter, hit them where they're not.
You must have had a lot of smart bats in 1994 when you won the batting title.
It's smart bats, that's right.
Now, switch hitters they wear different helmets. The one with the right ear flap when you're batting left-handed.
So I'll tell you one thing. You remember in like the minor leagues, Cody, where you wore the two, just everybody wore the same kind of helmets? They weighed about 5 pounds. There were ear flaps on both sides, and they were heavy.
Yeah, buckethead. The buckethead look.
Yeah, you look like that little dude from the Jepsons.
Gazoo.
There was he the Flintstones? Yeah. Sorry about that.
The great Gazoo. The great Gazoo.
In your era, Michael. Great Gazoo.
That's when the Flintstones lost me. I thought they jumped the shark. I could believe the flying pterodactyls, but then the little visiting spacemen, they lost me. Thought it was unrealistic. Here's Ibanez.
It was a full afternoon, though. You come home from school, you got I Dream of Jeannie, Gilligan's Island, and the Flintstones. I mean, and then it was time for dinner.
You really dove into the books, didn't you?
Yeah, kept my homework for nighttime. When the news came on, I wasn't interested.
Grounded up the middle, right there is Ibar. And it's a double play. 6-6-3, and that will do it. Here in the 4th. Let's go to the 5th inning. Yankees lead 3-2. It'll be 9-1-2 in the Angels' order. Very good year. Wow, that's a cooling device, huh? Got to get one of those up here for Paul. Cablevision customers, you don't have to miss a game again. Now you can watch live Yes Network Yankee games on your PCs or laptops with Optimum Online. Get the remaining season of live Yankees games on the go for just $39.99. If you're an Optimum Online customer who watches Yes on IOTV, go to YesNetwork.com to get more information and subscribe now.
If we could get Audrey to just hit the on button on the air conditioning, I don't think we need ice packs up there.
Yeah, she gets cold, our stage manager, Audrey. So
I told her to get her thyroid checked, and she didn't listen. Can you be cold when it's 100?
Cadillac scoreboard 3-2, Yankees lead. Popped up. Now, Coney mentioned something earlier, and I've always been fascinated. We just accepted it fact because we've all heard it. The ball travels better on humid days. And I just got a tweet from a viewer who said, shouldn't it travel worse because the air is more dense? And I asked Paul, and he actually gave me a pretty good answer.
Well, I'm going to jump into this, and it's probably not going to end up real well because I haven't been in science class in a while. But this is the theory behind it, and somebody actually looked it up and talked about it, that when it's hot, you know, everything expands, and when it's humid, the air molecules are a little bigger with water. So as the ball breaks through the air circles around it, and because it's heavier, it actually pushes from behind a little bit more. And it, you know, it just flies a little bit more.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, you could afford then to watch I Dream of Jeannie because you had this stuff locked in.
That's right. I had Google back then. I could just fire it.
It's called the sister.
Yeah, exactly.
You learned that from the professor on Gilligan's Island, right after school one day.
Count 2-1 on Trout. Want to keep him off the bases. He can steal bags. Grounded to Jeter. 2-away. Let's go back to Nancy Newman in our Yes studio. She has another update. Nance. Thank you, Nancy. So those two teams have split the first two games of that series. The Yankees have an 8-game lead in the East. Little punch bunt by Ibar, bunted foul.
Funny, I'm just looking down there at third base. Dino Abel, how far he is down the line. When you see the coach's box, but you know, when nobody's on base, it really doesn't matter. But I mean, he is way down the line. Kind of like where Robbie Thompson used to go when Gary Sheffield was at the plate.
You know, that's a good point, Paulie. I mean, those coaches' boxes they paint in the grass are really a thing of the past because no coaches stand in those boxes. That's a tradition in baseball. That little line or that little half box there is supposed to be where the coaches stand, and it's never been enforced.
Count 3-1.
Part of the reason for that is, Paulie, as you know, and we've seen first base and third base coaches, you know, steal signs from the catcher. And there's always been, like Alfredo Griffin there, the first base coach right there, could conceivably, if he got up a little closer, could see the signs from Russell Martin and be able to tip off the hitter as to what's coming. And we've seen that happen from time to time.
Don't want to do that. Walk the guy in front of Pujols, and that's exactly what Nova just did. 2 outs.
Tell you what, this is my 5th. This is the 6th game we've got. We had a 3-game series early in the year,
right?
And this is the 3rd game of this series. And back-to-back, these are the best at bats I've seen Pujols have. He just early in the year was, not comfortable. The first couple games he had a couple decent swings, but both his at bats today, he's been on every pitch.
There's a strike.
Was that hanging curve? It was just a curveball. Before he hit another bullet the next time up, just foul, and then laced one into left field.
It's all about balance with Albert. Probably the most balanced stance and hitter that I've ever seen. You never see him lunge, a very small stride, but his center of gravity stays right there.
At home you're thinking, well, why doesn't everybody hit like that? Because he is so strong that he does not need to transfer his weight back. He doesn't have to get loaded back like a lot of other hitters do, and he's able to stay in one spot and just use his body to drive the ball.
Popped him up. Shallow left, long run for Ibanez, and he makes the play. He's getting in some running today. The Borges foul ball on the long, short fly ball in the 4th, and now the Pujols fly ball here in the 5th. We're halfway through. Yankees up 3-2.
Show you something here. When you're getting really big, is when they start making T-shirts with your signature phrase on it right there at the Yankee team store.
Well, when you're not that big, when you don't get a dime for those shirts.
You didn't sign a deal for that?
No, I don't get a dime for that.
That doesn't have a K on the back?
No, it's a good-looking shirt. I wish I had something to benefit from that. I gotta have my people talk to people. I don't have people.
Oh, you got some people.
I don't have people. I'll have Jody do it.
It's all building the brand that is Michael K.
Wow, those are nice shirts. Cadillac scoreboard 3-2 Yankees lead so far in this game. Alex Rodriguez has had a see ya, and the Angels have had 2, Ibar and Pujols.
Well, where'd you come up with that see ya? What influenced you?
I had just gotten the radio job. And I was going out with a young lady then. And then when I would drop her off at the house at the end of a date, she'd go, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya, unless she left the car. So I cut out wouldn't want to be ya, and I said, let's do this. So it's been 21 years now. Here's Eric Chavez. You like that story, Paul?
I'm trying to sort it all out, but yeah.
Chavez, Martin, and Jeter.
See Weaver starting to find a better feel and then changing speeds a lot more on all of his pitches. Fastball to change up to curveball. See some uncomfortable swings now where you didn't early in the game.
Popped up, shallow left. Let's see if it finds grass. It does. Second base hit for Chavez as he starts the fifth with a single.
This is an off-speed curveball, and sometimes as a hitter you can wait too long and they can try to pull it. When you leave the box, the only thing you're thinking is it might fall. It might fall. Boy, as you're running down the line, you're trying to steer that thing to the grass.
It's another one of those full swings off the end of the bat that outfielders kind of freeze on at first.
Yeah, Ibar looked like he took a bad angle. Derek Jeter's so good at that, at taking the right angle. And you see that Chavez, it's such a gift when you get to first and you think, wow, I stole one there.
Another bunt grabbed there by Weaver and a double play. So you wonder, does Martin really feel good at the plate to be bunting twice? And a good play by Weaver, and the Yankees again run into an out on the bases. Although that really wasn't the fault of Chavez.
Again, Russell Martin probably felt the same thing what we called before. If he would have put a good bunt down, he would have had an easy hit. And that one, he just popped up. And sometimes as a hitter, when you know you're trying to make things happen, you just overthink sometimes. You just try to do anything you can. Good break for Weaver. I would imagine, Cody, you get a leadoff bloop hit and you're thinking, oh no, let's go. This is going to be a tough inning. And all of a sudden you get a quick double play like that, and it's just a gift.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Get an out here too. Weaver has an opportunity to get out of an inning with 5 or 6 pitches, and that after that 25-26 pitch first inning, he really got back into the game.
Fly ball. Borges is there, and that'll do it. Here in the fifth, 7-pitch inning for Weaver. Nobody left on base. Let's take this baby to the 6th. Kendrys Morales will lead off. Yeah, this game has had it all. Big hits, big pitches, great defensive plays, and some boneheaded base running maneuvers.
Everything looks cool with music behind it.
It
though,
does.
Huh?
Life should be played to music behind
That's
it.
right. Well, it is in my ears.
Just Morales takes low.
Mike, I'm going to give you some names. I'm going to give you a little chance to think about it. I want you to tie it all together, okay?
Okay, love these.
Both of us in the booth here, Coney and I.
Right.
David Wells.
Right.
Alfredo Griffin. Stew over it a little bit.
It's like an SAT exam.
No, that's long.
There's a base hit. Does it have something to do with perfect games?
Yes. It does.
Well, you recorded the final out of Boomer's perfect game.
Yeah, that's nothing to do with it. We'll go with, you've got the two. We're all part of perfect games. It's going to be too hard. But obviously, Coney threw a perfect game. Guy told me this today. It was pretty interesting. Coney threw a perfect game. David Wells threw a perfect game. I was fortunate enough to play, the only player to ever play in 3 winning perfect games. I was on really good teams. And Alfredo Griffin, the only player to ever play in 3 losing perfect games.
Wow, that's a good question.
All in the ballpark. You like that?
I like it a lot.
Tied it up, wrapped it in a bow for you.
And your third perfect game was with Tom Brown.
Yeah,
with the
in
Reds.
Cincinnati. Yep. And Griffin was part of that. He was on the Dodgers.
Griffin was part of Dennis Martinez's perfect game. El Presidente, El Perfecto. If you remember that great call. Alfredo was a great teammate. I had him in Toronto. He was a heck of a coach. You could see his influence on the middle infielders here. He was excellent defensively. He was very fast and a daring base runner. A good baseball guy.
There's a base hit off the bat of Trumbo. Morales round second. He's going to third. And he will make it. So the Angels now have runners on first and third. Nobody out. Trumbo 2 for 3 today.
Trumbo, he comes in and everybody hears about his home run power, and he hit the 1 home run way out. But I mean, this is good hitting right here. I mean, absolutely pulls his hands in and just drives the ball to right field. We talked about it yesterday. He's more than just a home run hitter. I mean, he's a 300 hitter at this point in the year.
Well, he was going that way the whole way. He had it in his mind that he was going to shoot the gap over there or shoot the hole. That was impressive for a home run hitter.
Here's Kai Aspo. First and third, nobody out. Angels threatening again. Last inning bases loaded. Or in the 4th inning bases loaded. And now first and third, nobody out.
You can't, I mean, you see this kind of bounce out, but his quickness getting the balls, I mean, he is as quick as any catcher out there. You saw that play he made in game, was it where he threw out for Soriano on game 1?
Game 1 here, yeah.
Yeah, end of the game. Yeah, he is very athletic back there.
Sudden it looks like Nova's struggling to find that group with his fastball to get ahead, to get to the slider and curveball.
There's a strike.
You learn, you see Russell Martin in a 2-0 count, fastball. No, he shook them both off, getting to a breaking ball, and that's a big adjustment. Now, when you can learn to throw those breaking balls in 2-0 counts with runners on, you're very confident in them. Tony, you come here, you're first and third, nobody out, and you think, I got to get an out here. All of a sudden, you get to that 2-strike count, and it changes. I mean, now you try to go for that strikeout. High fastball. You would think you'd have to back that up with a curveball now. That you know, as a hitter, when you're seeing that high fastball well and you're swinging at it, that's usually where that curveball starts out, and you'll wave at it.
Classic 3 for the slider down and in.
Missed with the location, fouled away.
That's sort of, you know, that's Nova in a nutshell right there. You know, he gets in a position to strike guys out, and sometimes he throws unhittable pitches, and other times he kind of hangs that breaking ball out over the plate. You know, that's kind of the last piece of the puzzle for Nova, just to get a little more consistent. You know, he's had the benefit of a lot of runs aboard and a lot of wins, but you see they're going to try it again. Get that slider down and in on the back right.
2-2. Better location, fouled away.
Well, Nova's got great presence on the mound. You know, we talked about him being a winner. He's well liked and a hard worker, but the last part is just a little more consistency. How to put hitters away when he does get them in the hole.
And you're not talking about, you know, a guy just becoming a, you're talking about that last step to being a superstar pitcher out there, not just a good pitcher, you know.
Exactly. You know, he's the type of guy, body type, you think of a frontline starter.
2-2. Tough at bat here for Callaspo.
You know, this is a good at bat. We talked yesterday about sometimes you battle pitchers, but you're missing, you know, good hitter pitchers. You know, Callaspo has fouled off a couple tough pitches here. A slider down and in, and then a backdoor curveball. He's pretty much seen everything that Nova has. It's going to be, you know, Nova's going to have to make a good pitch to strike him out. Another tough pitch, and you almost get the feeling, and it's hard for a young pitcher, and Coney, I know you used to do it intentionally, even in a 2-2 count, to intentionally throw a ball out of the zone, you know, to almost bounce that slider down and in, because all of a sudden you know, Callaspo's swung at 4 or 5 consecutive pitches, and as a hitter you just assume, you know, that he doesn't want to throw a ball, and you just get in that mode where you're going to swing at everything.
6 straight foul balls by Callaspo.
2-2. That one is hammered into right center field. Long run for Granderson, and he made a great play. Tagging is Morales. He scores easily, but boy, this could have gotten ugly if that ball got in. The second great play in this game by Curtis Granderson.
Well, Curtis Granderson is doing big things, and before, he made a great play on Trout that could have been an inside the park homer if he didn't come in. This could have ended up being helping for a big inning. And again, it plays shallow. It's a good jump. When you're a center fielder and you dive, you know nobody's behind you but the wall. Some of those monuments are looking at you. That's about it. There's no backup out there.
That galloping stride of Granderson.
So easy, yes,
Boy, does that change the complexion of this inning?
Granderson moves so well, but you know, he kind of gallops, you know, he kind of bounces, you know, when he runs. Crazy Legs Williams, remember the running back to the NFL? He's got some crazy legs to him. He moves well. He's covered a couple of unbelievable plays today to save Nova.
There's a strike.
looking out at center field, Paulie. You know, the Yankee Stadium just hosted a concert from the wall. They built a big wall out there, and we saw it was at Fenway Park too. And you got to give props to the Yankee Stadium grounds crew. Danny Cunningham, what a phenomenal job to get this field back playable again.
I'll tell you what, you remember we used to go to Oakland after they would play like an NFL game, and then they would put it back to the baseball field. I'm telling you what, we wouldn't even take infield. Balls would be bouncing all over, big holes and marks on the field.
See, along in here is where the stage was for the concert. We were just up at Fenway Park, and their field looked much worse than this does. That's a phenomenal job by Danny Cunningham and the Yankee grounds crew.
That one is drilled deep to right field. Swisher back, looking up, see ya. A 2-run home run for Torres, and now the Angels lead 5-3. Torres' first home run of the year.
He's been talking to Ibar about looking for something to pull. I mean, these guys come in with a little different strokes than they usually show up with. You know, these guys are slap hitters, and all of a sudden they're looking to pull a couple in the seats. You look up at the scoreboard, and it goes back to the extra base hits, Coney, that are really costing him. Good pitch to hit, inner half fastball.
Trying to come up and in, left it out over the plate.
Peter Borges swings at the first pitch. Fly ball right field. Swisher for the second out.
Now again, you know, if you're Anaheim, you have to feel good that, you know, Jeff Weaver's your ace out there, and he's got a lead again. And your late inning guys coming out of the pen have been very good for you so far this year.
Jack Qualls up in the Yankee bullpen.
I think their parents get confused. You know, you got to name your sons with 2 J's, Jeff and Jared.
Yeah.
I think they get confused too.
And it's not like they were, I mean, they looked a lot alike too.
Ground ball to A-Rod. And that'll do it. So 3 runs for the Angels. They take the lead. The Yankees are going to have to try for another comeback. The next 3 guys up, Granderson, A-Rod, and Cano. They've all gone yard in this series. Can they do it again? Stick around there. Coming up. Was what was the most exciting finish from Saturday's games? You've been texting us at 42951. Here's how you voted. And 77% say the steal of home in the Padre-Dodger game. Because it wasn't just a steal of home. The runner on second also scored. And that was the game winner. So Weaver now has a lead at 5-3. And he quickly goes up 0-2 in the count against Granderson.
No, I would agree with that. There's something about stealing home. You know, we still talk about Jackie Robinson and Yogi Berra's play at home plate.
Yogi still said he's out.
He's out. Never wavered. All these years, Yogi still says Jackie Robinson was out.
Ouch. I tell you, if I was a catcher and there was nobody on base, you think you over there blocking the ball, just let that thing go. You're gonna get a new ball anyway, right?
Taking a beating back there today.
That one's drilled deep to right field. There it goes. See ya! Another home run for Curtis Granderson. And the Yankees now trail 5-4.
Today is one of those days, if you're a pitcher and you make a mistake up, I mean, they're just flying out to right field. And this, again, was a ball that was up in the zone, not where the target was intended. Granderson launched it. It's be down and away and ends up and in. Big difference.
Change up that stayed up and left the yard.
Alex Rodriguez swings and misses. So Granderson had a home run yesterday. Second home run of the series, and this one was just inside the foul pole.
Saw that face on Granderson when he was running down first base, and that face was just trying to hold that ball fair. Knew he had plenty of it to get out of here. It's just whether it's fair or foul.
He's swinging better. You know, you mentioned him getting around the ball a little bit over the first couple of games, but that one, keeping that changeup fair there is a good sign for Granderson that he's starting to feel it again.
Alex Rodriguez swings and misses. First time Weaver gets him today. And the Yankees get rewarded with an ice pop, an ice cold pop. And speaking of ice cold, it's his time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
Again, you get to the changeup and your bat head continues to go out towards the field, and that's how you keep that ball fair. Good swing. See, not ahead of the ball, not lunging forward.
Here's Cano. And a strike. A-Rod with a 2-run home run in the first, and now Granderson a solo shot here in the sixth. Yankees trail 5-4, trying to sweep this series. Tied him up, count 0-2.
That's that ball you talk about, Coney, that slider down and into lefties. Lefties love that pitch, but if you're going to throw it, you got to throw it where it ends up a ball. Nothing you can do with it.
The 0-2. Still 0-2.
The at-bats where you go up as a hitter and all of a sudden, man, you look up your 0-2 and it seems like, you just got to take it one pitch and try to fight back into it. I always felt like if I got back to 2-2 that all of a sudden the advantage kind of changed a little bit, but obviously in a little defensive mode when you're 0-2.
Sort of a change over the years in this strategy. When, back in the day when pitchers were up 0-2 like Weaver is on Cano here, sometimes pitching coaches and managers would fine the pitcher if he gave up a hit on an 0-2 pitch. They wanted you to waste a pitch. Not so much anymore. Guys are going right after hitters much more now today in today's game than they did back in the day, even 20 years ago. So Weaver just go right after Cano with that slider. Certainly don't want to throw a cookie, but you don't want to just waste a pitch.
Yeah, I agree. There was nothing better than being 0-2 and then have a pitcher throw one, 8 feet over your head. You can't swing it. All it did was get you back into the count. And you're right. There were so many times where, you hear somebody yelling in the dugout. You can't give up a hit 0-2. 0-2, hitters have so much to cover. You've got the inside, the outside, and you've got so many pitches to try to cover. You're down to one strike. So I think you should be aggressive 0-2 as a pitcher.
Also, I'm wondering, David, I mean, there's such a magnification of pitch counts. Why would you give away pitches? I mean, if you don't waste pitches on 0-2, I mean, you could have 5 to 10 more pitches at the end of your start.
Yeah, even now more days.
Yeah.
Nowadays when everybody's keeping track.
Swing and a miss. And Cano down on strikes for the second out.
In the old days, it was almost automatic.
Butcher there, the pitching coach for the Angels, a good one too. You see, he's got the clicker and he's clicking off every pitch, he's keeping track.
Going back to the old days, like I said, it was almost automatic. The 0-2, you know, it was kind of up and in, off the plate, and really to get that through it, you really only have to do it once as a pitcher, and then everybody on the bench knows, you know, that you will pitch that way. So.
I mentioned Yogi Berra and Jackie Robinson back in that era. You know, a lot of 0-2 pitches were dust them off.
Yeah.
They were knocking them down, especially the young hitters.
Tries to pull the outside pitch and grounds it to Pujols, and that will do it. But the Yankees creep closer. They're trailing 5-4, and they're in this game because of Curtis Granderson, showing some leather and grace, and then, of course, some power as well as he goes yard to make it 5-4 Angels. Nissan dealer. Angels lead 5-4. Ibar and Pujols back-to-back home runs in the first. A-Rod, 2-run home run. Granderson, a solo home run, 2 runs scored. And the Yankees, 2, 3, and 4 have really done some damage in this game, with each of them having 2 hits. So 6 hits in 2, 3, and 4. But they're trailing 5-4. They've had some base running mistakes. They've given up home runs. The guys that really shouldn't be hitting home runs is Turris and Ibar. And that's why they're behind right now, 5-4. Here's Mike Trout. And a strike. Cadillac scoreboard, 5-4 Angels.
Beginning here, Coney, you're in a 1-run game in the 7th, so you're getting close to your pitch limit. And you also have just turned the order over with Trout leading off.
Trout wraps one to right center. Another long run for Granderson. Can't get to this one as it goes up against the wall. Trout running hard will stop at second.
Tell you what, you saw his wheels there. He was rounding second, and if he doesn't get a good kick off this ball, Granderson, I mean, Trout's going to just cruise into third. This ball's hit again. Granderson just can't outrun this one. This is a line drive, but he gets a good bounce right to him. Keeps Trout on second base.
There's just no wasted motion in him with the swing, the way he runs. Very efficient. A lot of power there to drive that ball in the gap. We've seen the thump in his bat. Power and speed. Deadly combination. You see Ibar got a home run today too.
Here's what I don't understand. You have a guy at second who's almost an automatic to steal. Why would you bunt him? Give him a chance to steal.
A little harder to steal third, obviously, than second base.
It's all about the jump, and you see A-Rod. I mean, he's kind of stuck in a hole here. He has to play the bunt, and he also has to realize that Trout, and that's the thing, if you fake a bunt and get that third baseman in, it's too tough of a play for him to get back. A good time for Trout to run. You see Derek Jeter really trying to hold him on so he can't get a good jump.
Not bunting that time. It's 1-1.
You got a left-handed hitter up. Russell Martin throws well. You know, this is a little higher degree of difficulty to steal third in this situation. You've got a right-handed batter, and Trout can kind of get time Nova a little bit. You might have a little better chance of him stealing third, but obviously the throw's a lot shorter from home plate to third base than it is all the way to second.
Bunted foul. So that helps A-Rod out. Now he can back up, and it's not as difficult to tag. That was Nova's 100th pitch, and in his very young career, first time he's ever had 3 straight starts of 100 or more pitches. One-two. Looped into right field. Coming on. Swisher. He can't make the play, but he knocks it down. Trout will head to third. He'll stop right there. And a base hit for Ibar.
Swisher got a good jump on that ball. There just wasn't enough on it, not enough time. But you're right, Michael. He did the right thing. And at any cost, when you go to dive with a man on base, you have to knock it down. Does a good job here of kind of smothering it. See Trout, he was halfway, so if he comes up with that catch, the way Trout can tag up.
Kind of lucked out at his body.
Yeah, you kind of dive in front of that ball and know that you got a little backup with it.
So Girardi takes the ball from Ivan Nova. He battled today, didn't have his best stuff, made some mistakes, and he trails 5-4 as he leaves the mound. Girardi will go to the bullpen with Albert Pujols coming up. to end the Blue Jays to the Bronx for a 3-game set at the stadium. Coverage will start at 6 with outing batting practice today, and then the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Paul and I are back in the booth for all the action. It's only on Yes. Well, Joe Girardi makes a call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. Big spot in this game, as the Angels have runners on first and third, and the Yankees will go to Chad Qualls. And the numbers don't compute in this move. You bring in Qualls against Pujols, and they know each other from the National League. Pujols has 7 hits and 16 at-bats, and 3 of the 7 are home runs, so a .433 hitter against Qualls. And the reason you go with this move is you probably don't have Epley after he pitched 2 innings yesterday. So Pujols is 2 for 3. The old Jeff Nelson.
It worked once today.
And that was a half Nelson because he didn't work.
Leg kick's too big, not quick enough. Nobody bite.
Give me a double play. Here's one. And the throw pulls Teixeira off the bag. And Pujols made a turn. And then Teixeira tags him for the double play. But the run does score. And the Angels lead 6-4.
Yeah, this is interesting because I think that Laz called him safe. And I don't think you can call him safe. And then he went over and tagged him and called him out.
Maybe he missed first base, but if he missed first base, he should not have called him safe. Let's
exactly.
See.
Watch Laz here in the back.
Now he says safe, but he's not safe unless he hits first, and Teixeira knew that. And then we'll tag him out.
See, Albert knows it's coming. He's dead to rights. Yeah, I think, traditionally, generally umpires will make no call.
Exactly.
If there's a missed tag right here, then the umpire usually just stands there and waits for the play to finish. But Laz Diaz did call him safe on the no tag. But good thing Teixeira was watching, because he went and tagged him and then got the out call.
Albert Pujols hit his ankle on the bag the other day. He's had a little trouble going into first base this series.
It's this big insurance run for the Angels as they now lead 6-4 as Trout scored. Jeter had a little trouble with this baseball, and that's what made it a difficult play at first.
Robbie did all he could, but he knew that he was getting bared down on over there. There's a time clock when you're turning that double play. You know you have so much time. If something doesn't happen well in the exchange, you know that runner's coming in hard.
Jeter got a big hop there. Ran up his body.
Robbie's got such good arm speed that he can actually go away from the runner, where a lot of guys don't have that luxury. And you've seen a lot of bad plays at second base where second basemen get their foot stuck in there.
Base hit for Kendrys Morales, his second hit of the afternoon.
It's going to be a welcome sight for Mike Scioscia to see him swing the bat a little bit better. Michael, I think you commented on the first couple games, he just did not look comfortable at the plate. And when you've got that many hitters in the lineup, and if you can get him going, the way that Trout and Trumbull and Pujols seem to be turning things around.
Here is Trumbo. 2 for 3 today, and he's 4 for 10 in this series. Count 1-1. Morales at first with 2 outs. We're in the top of the 7th at 6-4 Angels. Alex Rodriguez stabs it, goes the short way, gets the force, and that'll do it. But another run for the Angels. 1 run on 3 hits, and they leave 1 runner on at the end of 6 1/2 time for the 7th inning stretch. Angels lead the Yankees 6-4, but we'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Please rise and offer a moment of silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women serving our country at home and around the globe. Now, join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
They do with Strasburg, and I'm going to get David's take on this in just a moment. Later today, catch a new WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show as the skipper discusses the All-Star break and the state of the Yankees as they start the second half. Then on Yankees on Deck, presented by Blimpie, Robinson Cano gets an all-access pass to WrestleMania 28. It's all today after the postgame, only on Yes. So we just see Strasburg, and the Nationals have stated very clearly he's not pitching over 160 innings, coming back from Tommy John surgery. And during the All-Star game, Strasburg was interviewed, and he said they're going to have to pry the ball from my cold, dead hands. So what's going to happen? I mean, the Nationals have a chance to win the pennant, and they're going to pull your best pitcher out. So Mike Rizzo, the GM, said it's happening. I don't care what people say. There's a strike to Nick Swisher, Cadillac scoreboard, 6-4, Angels lead.
Well, if he left it up to Davey Johnson, he'd keep giving him the ball, right. I'll tell you that.
Swisher tries to check his swing on a high fastball. He can't. The count 0-2. They'll have to pry the ball from my cold, dead hands.
Pretty adamant quote, isn't it?
Yeah, that's strong. A lot of people on Twitter have told me, Paul, I'm surprised today is National Ice Cream Day. You have not had one bit of ice cream.
I haven't. No, I haven't had one. I've had 3.
I haven't seen it.
You were out messing around for the game. I was taking care of business back here.
All right.
I was in the control room. I had an ice cream cone, a couple of, absolutely. It's a big day for me, you know.
Grounded foul.
To top it off with a little barbecue at Frank and Mayor's, huh? What
Very
a day,
nice.
right? Tell me something. I know that she's making sauce.
Right.
I mean, it's like, how do you spell sauce? What is that?
Italian gravy is either gravy or sauce.
Oh, it's sauce. It's not sauce or water. How do you spell these words? They're like a different language.
You know, you got yourself a little bit of an accent too, Paul. That one is popped up. Ibar back. And he gets called off by Trout for the first out. Let's go back to Nancy Newman. She has another update. What's up, Nance? Boy, Nancy, you're right. He's had some year, and the Pirates made the smart move. They usually are very close with their money, and they extended him, gave him a big contract at the start of the season, and now it looks like a bargain. They bargained on the right guy.
Well, you watch him drive that ball out to right center and then run the. He's a little guy. He's not a big, powerful guy. He can hit. He squares the ball up. He's got some speed. He's a good player.
Ibanez fouls it away. Count 1-1.
You know, Michael, it's funny because that's one thing that we have never said together in the 10 years we've worked together. Boy, the Pirates are having a good year.
Yeah.
You know,
that hasn't been said in about 18 years.
Exactly.
High pop-up. Drifting back is Turris for the second out. Now, Weaver's in pretty good shape right now. 89 pitches. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Yankees have had a couple of leads against him. Actually, one. It was 3-2, and they gave that back. Will they be able to make another run at him before they get to their closer, Frieri, who has not allowed a run as an Angel pitcher?
Yeah,
and you see those single-digit pitch counts there.
That 5th inning with that leadoff single, and then all of a sudden that bunt double play was really, it really comes back to help Weaver and hurt the Yankees.
I don't know the last time I've seen a game was that 4 or 5 innings of single-digit pitching, you know, and that was a great adjustment by Weaver because the Yankees came out swinging early off of him. Very aggressive early in the count, and then he started to go to more off-speed early, and it's really paid off for him.
He had a big first inning, and he had to have those single-digit innings to be in this position with 92 pitches in the 7th.
Has done so many good things for the Yankees, and I tell you, watching the batting practice the other day, he still has pop. And you can see Weaver every time he makes a mistake. It's not a hit; it's a home run. And this ball's supposed to be in. It just tails out over the plate a couple inches, right to the barrel of the bat. Good sound, great swing.
Limited playing time, Paul. That's his 8th home run.
Yeah.
Now Mike Scioscia's seen enough after this pitch. And Weaver knew it off the bat. And that says it all.
How's that feel out there, Tony?
Well, you just knew it. You see his reaction, you know, right off the bat. Scioscia's going to stick with Weaver here. He wanted to look him eye to eye and see how he was feeling. And Weaver talked him into staying into this game. Well, something had to give today because Weaver has given up the fewest home runs against the team that's got the most home runs. And you know, even though he still got the lead, it looks like something did give, and it was him. You know, he just had 5 home runs coming into this game, which he's given up 3 today.
Might be a good idea for Russell Martin not to bunt this time up. He takes outside one. He's bunted twice to bad results.
Like we were talking, I mean, you're in the 7th inning here, and it's really his first at bat. You don't know how you feel at the plate. He's bunted twice on the first pitch.
One time he did move a runner, but it wasn't considered a sac bunt. The other time he bunted into a double play. This is after getting the game-winning hit on Friday night, the bottom of the 8th inning. Eight home runs allowed this season, 3 of them today. Three and one. Jeter's on deck.
Going after Russell Martin. He's not going to give Mike Socha the option once he gets through this inning.
Popped up. Borges is there, makes the play, and that'll do it. So the Chavez home run makes it Angels 6, Yankees 5. The final 2 innings should be fun. Stick around.
Avenue. What do you think you're going to find? You're going to find an Irish bar, but an Irish bar named Phil Hughes. Not the pitcher Phil Hughes, that Phil Hughes. And guess what? They got the Yankee game going on in there, and there he is.
What's up, Phil?
Now that was Phil Hughes before the Yankees signed Phil Hughes. And that's tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Introducing Verizon Fios quantum speed internet twice as fast as anything America's ever seen. Henderson Alvarez against Phil Hughes. Coverage begins at 6. There's a ground ball to first, backhanded there by Teixeira, and he retires Callaspo. I would think after showing that bar, David, you're not going to have to pay when you walk in there.
I'm definitely going to check it out now. I haven't been in there yet, but it's on my list.
Could be a regular at this point.
Yes, I found a new spot.
In 2 weeks, I'll be calling it David Cohn.
That's what they did with Brady. There was an Irish bar named Brady's, and during the Super Bowl,
after the Giants won, they changed it to Manning's. I think they did it twice, right?
They did it twice. They just got a canvas cover and covered up the Brady's name and put Manning's.
Hyundai scoreboard 6-5, Angels lead.
When I was playing, I got an invitation. I never made it to. I don't know, it might have been the 21 Club.
Oh yeah,
you been
what
there?
A great place.
Yeah, I never got to go there.
It's very fancy. Yes.
I mean, there's history behind that thing and stuff, right?
Yes. I believe that's where George Steinbrenner had the press conference to announce that Reggie Jackson had been signed.
Oh, was that right?
Agent. Yeah. You got to go. I mean, it's your number.
How many numbers you have, Tony? You scored a lot of unis. How many different numbers?
I scored a lot of unis, and a couple times I changed my number to as a tribute to former teammates. One time with the Mets, I wore number 17 to honor Keith Hernandez, and one time with the Royals, I wore number 22 to honor Dennis Leonard, who we mentioned before was a great Royals pitcher.
There's two. You were with 36 here, right?
36. When I broke in with the Mets, I was 44. I wore 17 once with the Mets. Actually, my rookie year with the Royals, I wore 13.
So that's 5. You're on 2 hands, Coney.
A lot of numbers, yeah. Kept wearing out my welcome.
3-2. Missed inside as his tourist walks. Why don't we check out David's life? The sanitized version. 17 big league seasons.
This is edited.
5-time All-Star. Cy Young in '94. Where is that, David? Where's the Cy Young Award right now?
On my father's wall. I gave it to my dad, and he proudly displays it in Kansas City at his house.
He was your first pitching coach.
He was.
And the perfect game against the Expos. And you also wore 22 and 11.
Was the blackout years, Coney? You forgot.
That was. There's a few fuzzy spots in there. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, 11 was in Toronto. Canada's first World Series. That was the first of those championships.
All in all, 7 different numbers. Runner goes, and a bunt. It's going to be a tough play. Qualls fields, fires, not in time. Borges has speed. First and second, one out.
Good bunt, and just because of the angle, the Qualls could not put a lot on this throw. And Coney, you can explain this more than I mean, you're running over at an angle, and then the runner in between, you kind of have to throw back towards the umpire. Not much on the throw.
Yeah, when you're running towards this ball, as you see, clearly beats it. If you're on the mound and you're trying to make this play, you're hoping your catcher could get out there and make the play. And that was just perfectly placed. Russell Martin couldn't get there, and Qualls had to do the best he could. He really had no shot.
And neither's the innings that you really need to shut down the opponent, because you just stole back a run. You're back in a 1-run game.
Bobby Wilson takes a strike. They got some speed on the bases right now, and it's Torres at second and Borges at first.
It's funny, Downs, we went over his numbers coming into the All-Star break, and he had such a bad appearance. It was unbelievable for everybody what he gave up in the first game, and usually the 8th inning is his, and they don't have him up today.
Runners go, and the ball fouled off.
A nice play by Socha there. Qualls with that heavy sinker could easily roll a ground ball double play here, and Socha trying to counter that with Wilson here batting 9th, and of course Trout on deck. So here's one of those situations, Michael. We talked about strikeouts. Strikeouts better than a double play right here.
A strikeout allows Trout to have it at bat. .22 hits, 11 runs combined. Qualls deals.
Qualls still has that heavy movement, 94 miles an hour. Heavy sinker. He's always had that his whole career. A little surprised the Yankees were able to kind of steal him, off the scrap heap a little bit. Nice move by Brian Cashman.
There's a big difference when you're a left-handed hitter and you're facing, a sinker ball from a righty. A lot of those sinkers kind of just get that tail. Where he's got that heavy sink where it actually goes down as it's sinking, and it's much harder to hit.
Qualls' problems earlier this year, really throughout his career, has really been when he hangs the slider. His slider's his other go-to pitch, but his sinker's much higher integrity than that slider. That sinker is high quality, and the times he gets hurt is when he leaves a slider up.
Boone Logan's up. In the dirt, heads up base running by Asturias. He will go to third as Borges stayed at first.
You look at that. I mean, there's so much movement on that ball. It almost looked like a breaking ball, and it obviously beat up Russell Martin. But you see the downward movement on that pitch.
A great job by Martin, and to find it quickly, just to keep the runner at first base. Even though obviously now you have a man on third base and one out, you still have the double play in order.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
You ever heard that word disseminated outside a baseball booth in your life?
I have.
Have you?
Yes.
You use that a lot?
I've disseminated it myself. The old Jeff Nelson.
Popular today.
Jeff was very upset when he heard that they were going to outlaw it next year.
He's going to lose some airtime, right?
Yeah. He said it worked for him at least 5 times a year. I don't remember those, but he does. 1-2. Al Leiter, our colleague, insists it's a very effective play, even if you don't pick anybody off. He said because it does keep the guy at first closer. He said even if it's just for like an eye blink, it keeps him closer.
Gives fans a good reason to boo too. When you're on the road.
Warner goes from first. That one is lofted to left field. Coming on Ibanez, he can't make the play. Scoring is Asturias. Borges is going for third. He's in there. It's an RBI single for Bobby Wilson, and it's 7-5 Angels.
Ibanez has made a couple good running catches out there today, but this ball just kind of in nowheresville, not hit real hard. Good piece of hitting. He battled it, put the ball in play.
Well, it's the slider again, and it's up. And I just don't understand. You know, with that heavy sinker, you need a ground ball. Trying to go for probably a strikeout there, but after all those quality sinkers, he leaves the slider up. This is what burned him earlier this year. As you see, this is the slider, and it's sitting right there. That's nowhere near the quality of that sinker that we saw in the previous 4 or 5 pitches.
Borges did a good job of base running, and you know, Ibanez is going away from the play. Borges had to wait to make sure he couldn't catch it, and he took that extra base knowing that Ibanez really couldn't get much on the throw.
So they bring the infield in. Now 2-0. Trout today is 1 for 4, doubled and scored a run in the 7th.
Remember, Granderson stole a hit from him earlier, so he's had some good swings today.
Oh. The 3-0. There's a strike.
Well, a lot of teams would look for the double play here, but I mean, Trout one double play all year with his speed, so you know you almost have to manage differently and bring the infield in. It's dangerous, but his speed, you see, these guys are usually back here at double play depth.
Line drive, a base hit to right center field. Scoring is Borges. Wilson will go to third, and Trout has himself an RBI double. Now it's 8-5 Angels. Yankees getting very close to getting this one taken away. And Joe Girardi's trying to stop it right here.
You really can't say enough about this Trout. I mean, he can play. He knows how he uses the whole field. It looks like he's having fun doing it too.
20 years old, about 2.5 hours from where you grew up. in front of about 45,000 people at Yankee Stadium, picking up another double, your team's leading. Why not? Have a good time. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by the new summer barbecue menu at Burger King. Let's have a barbecue today. By Raymore and Flanagan, furnishing your style with guaranteed delivery in 3 days or less. And by 5 Hour Energy, when you've got to get stuff done. Well, Eric Ibar, with runners on second and third, and still just one out, will come up against Moon Logan. Logan 4-0, 41 strikeouts in 31 innings. This will be his 44th game.
Overall, very good numbers, although a little bit of a hitch over his last 10 outings. He's pitching to an 8.59 ERA, so he has been giving it up just a little bit, a little nicked up recently, but very solid all year long overall for Boone Logan.
Well, he's had a nice long rest with the All-Star break and didn't pitch in the first 2 games here. So let's see if that rejuvenates him.
Again, infield in, so you know as a pitcher, you're going to try to either jam him or get him out yourself because there's not much leeway through that infield.
DJ Mitchell is up.
Ibar all of a sudden became a power hitter from the left side of the plate. Think we could turn him around a little bit and see what happens.
See the way this game has gone back and forth. This is still a very important part of the game. If the Yankees could keep it right here, they'd have a much better chance to try to come back again on the Angels.
This more and more around the league now. There's some lefties that are coming out of the pen with power arms, and you didn't used to see it. Every lefty in the old days used to come out with a slider and a little fastball, but now you've got some guys that you don't just match up with hitters. I mean, Boone Logan, one of them, thrown in the mid-90s.
Squeeze is on, and it's beautifully done. The out is made at first, scoring easily is Wilson, and now it's 9-5 Angels.
You can see Mike Scioscia still the old school type of manager to steal a run, just anything you can do. Trust his players. They take the extra base, they'll squeeze a runner in, and that's a big run. I mean, you get to the 4-run plateau right there. That's a big run right there.
You know, you got a guy who can handle the bat and Ibar, and he disguises it well. Wait till the last minute. See, Boone Logan's already released the ball before he squares around, and of course the runner's on the way. It's indefensible if executed properly. And that's the beauty of that particular play.
Such a difference in the sacrifice where you don't worry about giving it away. You can square around. You're going to walk Albert Pujols here, but the key to is a squeeze bunt. I mean, the runner's coming, but as a hitter, you cannot give it away too early because a pitcher can adjust to it. So you have to wait till he's already just about to release that ball before you square around.
So they intentionally walk Albert Pujols. Let's take a look from the roof at how the squeeze is executed.
See, nothing is given away here. You're not thinking one thing as a pitcher, and then it's just too late. You've already let go of the ball.
If you square around too quickly and I'm on the mound, you're going to get one in the ear. I'm telling you that right now.
Yep.
I mean, that's what you're taught as a pitcher. And just no chance. No chance to defend that at all. And really, the key was Ibar waiting and disguising until the last minute.
So many things have to go on with that squeeze bunt because you have to get a sign back from the hitter as a third base coach.
Line drive and caught by A-Rod as Morales is retired. But 3 more runs for the Angels here in the top of the 8th inning, and LA has a big 9-5 lead over the Yankees. The official truck of the New York Yankees. All right, so Derek Jeter will lead off here in the 8th inning as the Angels have a 9-5 lead, and they also have a new pitcher. It's Jason Isringhausen. He had come back with the Mets last year and signed with the Angels. Good numbers. A few too many walks. Opponents hitting .212 against him and 3-0. So he'll deal with Jeter, Granderson, and A-Rod.
Originally, the Mets, part of that little thing where they thought they had those 3. It was a Paul Wilson, Isringhausen, and is there another one?
Yeah, Generation K. And the other
Pulsifer,
one,
Bill Pulsifer.
Pulsifer, yeah. Generation K. Mike, we just throw stuff out there. Huh?
They're all supposed to be strikeout pitchers.
Yeah.
Grounded sharply to short. Ibar with the tough hop, and he gets Jeter for the first out. You know, you can vote along with us for today's Chevy Player of the Game. That's right. Text your vote to 42951 or just vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are Curtis Granderson, Myceris Torres, Eric Ibar, or Albert Pujols. Vote now and make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Granderson is 2 for 3 today with a 2-run scored, single, and a home run. Down 2-0. 9-5 Angels as they try to salvage the final game of this 3-game set. Scott Downs is up. Check. Goes around. Crowd of 46,679 here on a Sunday afternoon in the Bronx. Rounded to second. It's Torres with a nice hop for the second out.
Can I check the ball, please?
Isringhausen in the old days, I remember when we used to face him in Oakland when he was the closer. Hard cutter. Didn't really have much off-speed stuff. You knew one thing, when you were facing him, he was coming after you. He had that kind of mentality. You know, he wasn't going to walk, he wasn't going to pitch around anybody. Come after you with hard cutters and fastballs.
It's a good fit down there in that Angel bullpen. A little veteran presence. He's got closer experience, as Paulie said.
There's A-Rod. He's 2 for 3. You're running out of guys you've faced, right, Paul?
So, some of them, the ones I have faced and the ones that Coney faced, they're the old veterans now, that's for sure. We don't, none of the young guys we know about. Whoa.
Izzy out there, he had 47 saves. It's probably his best year in 04 with the Cardinals. He had a good stretch there. He's got 300 career Major League saves, too. Well, it's been a while since he's been a true closer, but certainly very good in this role here.
It's a magic number for a closer in saves.
Mo broke the record of 602, so that's the best. I guess the magic number would be
500, 400,
500. It's hard with relievers. I think people that vote for the Hall of Fame have a hard time judging what's great and what's not. Because saves back then kind of are different than saves now. Saves now are maybe 1-inning saves. And Goose Gossage will tell you his saves were 3 innings.
Right.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Alex Rodriguez 2 for 3 today. A 2-run home run in the first inning. Driven out to right field. Trumbo back on the track, and he'll make the play in front of the wall for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. We're going to the 9th. The Angels lead the Yankees 9-5. Trumbo is leading off. File, which is brought to you by Mazda, and David will handle the honors.
Well, Weaver came in smoking hot, and you know, something had to give here today, Paulie, and it looked like it's going to be him. And the Yankees banged him around. He only had 5 home runs total on the season given up. He gave up 3 today, and you think if you're the Yankees, looking at that reaction, that you're going to have a chance to beat this guy today. But they got 5 runs, but it ain't enough today.
9-5, Angels lead. So Angels score 3 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, and 3 in the 8th, and that's the game right there. 9-13-0, leading 5-10-0. And a new pitcher for the Yankees is DJ Mitchell. This will be his 4th game. And he'll face Mark Trumbo. Couple of injury updates. Jabba Chamberlain threw 2 scoreless innings yesterday. Probably going to have a couple days off, throw again on Tuesday, but you can get a relief pitcher back quicker. That one is drilled to left field. Does it have the height? Yes, it does. See ya. A home run for Trumbo, and that's a short one for him, as the Angels now lead 10-5.
It didn't matter if that had the height, that had gone through the wall. I mean, when he hits the ball, he just hits it harder than everybody. He in pool holes. You can tell.
That's his 6th home run this year against the Yankees.
Yeah, a couple at bats ago, he had that approach where he was going to take it to right field. So it just shows you he's a complete hitter.
That's the most. It ties the most of any Angel against the Yankees in a single season.
Well, the good news is he's going to Detroit after this game. Get out of here.
A couple home run hitters coming in. You got the Blue Jays coming in, Bautista and Encarnacion.
This line drive, Paulie, that's Dave Winfield line.
Yeah.
Screaming line drives. Winfield used to hit line drives you thought were going to knock over the outfield fence. I haven't seen line drives like that since Winnie.
2-0. Popped up. And Alex Rodriguez with a nice play. Check out how fast his home run gets out after it hits the bat.
Seeing people scattering out there.
Yeah, nobody's trying to catch that. Even the fans know they're getting out of the way.
He's trying to break Evil's hand. He tried to break a seat in left field. This Turris fly ball to right field. Just finishing up with Jabba. It doesn't take that long to rehab a reliever because all you have to do is get him to pitch 2 innings and pitch back to back. So a starter takes sometimes 5-6 weeks, but Jabba could be here maybe by the beginning of August, maybe the first week of August. Brett Gardner is in a rehab game today. They'll see how his elbow reacts. Andy Pettitte can't come off the 60-day DL until August 28th, and Joe Girardi thinks he should be ready right around then. Peter Borges with a base hit up the middle. And David Aardsma, who I thought was a wild card, really helped the Yankees in the bullpen, had to be shut down, some pain in his elbow. They'll restart him again in about a week and see how that goes. But he's coming back from Tommy John surgery.
It's almost like you're going to get a second chance with Jabba. You know, when he first came up with the Yankees, he just stormed the league, you know, and that stuff he had, throwing the ball 100 miles an hour. He's got a manhole slider, too, you know. It just looks like the ball just goes, like you're going down 2nd Avenue and you got the subway being built, and that slider just goes right and straight down. And so you know, that's going to be big, I think, to get Jabba back through everything he's been through.
And the Yankees will get back CeCe on Tuesday. He's going to make a start against the Blue Jays, so he'll come off the deal.
You look at Jabba when he used to enter the game, and I mean, it was almost borderline like Mariano. I mean, the people were up on their feet. They were excited to see him, and it's a power arm. And it's a fun guy to have in the bullpen, because when you need a strikeout, those are the guys that, you know, can overpower people.
Ball gets away from Martin, and heading to second is Peter Borges. That scored a wild pitch.
Martin he got caught in between. He thought it was going to get there the whole way in the air, and he didn't get in block mode. Tried to backhand it. Been a long day back there, a long hot day for Martin too.
Two-1 to Wilson. Breaking ball inside, 3-1. I think David mentioned this on Friday. I bet you the first time he comes out of the bullpen here, this place will be up for grabs. This town has always liked Jabba Chamberlain. Don't know if his fastball or his name, kind of name that grips you, his enthusiasm, but it's going to be kind of fun when he comes back. So a walk to Wilson. And that'll bring up Trout. We've been impressed with Trout in this series, and why not? He's 2 for 5 today, and in the series he is 7 for 14. Does he remind you of anybody that you've seen lately? Can you compare him to another player?
You know what, when you think of a guy that hits as well as he does and runs as well, you don't see that type of power and strength. And I mean, this guy right here, 20 years old, is going to get stronger, so he's going to hit more home runs. He's going to continue to fill out. So, you know, I'm trying to picture somebody in that. I really can't, because I mean, this type of body type with his speed is a little different. You think, Cole?
You know, he reminds me a little bit, you know, of a young Robin Yount. Robin Yount's a Hall of Fame player for the Milwaukee Brewers. Ended up with over 3,000 hits. Just looking at him in the box, Robin Yount ran really well when he was young, but you know, I have to give the edge to Trout. I think, you know, he's more advanced than even Robin Yount was when he first broke in. But Robin was a great player. Started out as a shortstop, moved to center field. Kind of that same kind of, you know, holds his bat a little bit like Robin Yount used to.
And Trout really got a shot at everyday play with the injury to Vernon Wells. And boy, is that going to test that whole baseball bromide, which I've never really understood. You can't lose your job because of an injury. Well, how about if the guy who takes over for you is great?
Kind of hard to take a Rookie of the Year or possible MVP out of the lineup because somebody comes back, right?
Wally Pipp got a headache. He didn't get his job back. Lou Gehrig was too good.
He looks way too comfortable for a rookie. You know, it just looks like he belongs. The way he takes pitches, the way he has plate coverage, just looks very comfortable in the batter's box.
Runners will go on 3-2 and 2 outs.
Big day for the Angels too. You know, a couple heartbreaking losses to the Yankees. You can get on getaway day. You got a chance to get a win.
Runners go, line drive, and foul. He could have run for a while if that was fair, banging around in the corner. So, David, you said Robin Yount. So what we decide to do is split the screen up and see if, in fact, you see anything there.
So two good players, you know, on both sides.
I think Trout's a little thicker. Robin Yount was a little leaner.
More straight up and down. And a walk to load the bases for Ibar.
That was good though. Huh? John Moore, how about that down there? Come up with that. Lee down there. Guys in the truck still working hard. They had a long hot day down there too.
Oh, it's very air conditioned down there. They're fine.
So they don't have Audrey down there with the heat on.
There's a Robin Yount resume: 20 big league seasons, 2-time MVP, 3-time All-Star, 3,142 career hits. He was a great shortstop, and he turned into a great center fielder when he hurt his arm. 1999 Hall of Fame inductee.
Does it surprise you?
Yeah, only 3 times. That's
Three
weird.
times? Huh? 20 major league seasons, Hall of Famer, 3,100 hits, only made the All-Star team 3 times. That's what happens when you play in Milwaukee, I guess.
Exactly. That is odd. So Trout goes down, or goes out to settle down DJ Mitchell, and here is Eric Ibar.
Well, Ibar looking for those fastballs to launch into the seats in this series, will you? That's what happened. You mix it with a change up first pitch. Suddenly, if you're LA, you look back at this series and you think, you know what, we really got one taken away from us in game 1. The Yankees came back and just stole that game with.
There's a ground ball at Cano, and that will do it. But one more run for the Angels. They've scored 8 over the last 4 innings. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? They're down by 5.
Market game live online on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere.
Well, we obviously have some time to kill, Paul, so we're going to practice our reading ability here, but we're going to keep it right here after the last out for the W.B. Mason post game. Nancy Newman is back in the studio to wrap up this series finale here in the Bronx. And you get the latest from around baseball, plus Meredith Marakovitz, The Rock, talks to the team in the clubhouse. It's the W.B. Mason post game only on Yes.
That's an impressive read, Coach. A lot into that one.
All right, so we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. And we have Torrey Hunter as a new right fielder. That's something that Trumbo's not great at defensively. They really don't have a position for him. So Hunter will take over. And right now it's going to be interesting to take a look at Ernesto Frieri. You see his numbers. Now the ERA, he got that with the Padres before the Angels acquired him. He is not allowed to run for the Angels. He's been that good. Pretty impressive. 63 strikeouts in 38 innings. Swing and miss.
He's a power arm with not really a power body, you know, kind of slings the ball. That's mid-90s. He can throw up into the upper 90s. The numbers don't lie, Coney. When you're doing the job, you're doing the job.
He became the first Angel reliever in club history to not allow a single run before the All-Star break. He's the first Major League pitcher with 45 or more strikeouts and 0 earned runs in the first 25 innings with a new club, ever. "35 runners he's left stranded coming in out of the bullpen. 26 of them were in scoring position.
Mike Scioscia has built teams to win, and they did win a World Series, and there's been some good closers out there. He understands the importance. You look back at Troy Percival, K-Rod was out there for a while, Fuentes, who else did they have? Shields was a good setup guy. They've had good bullpens in this run where they've been in the playoffs. You see Robbie even is behind his fastball. Sneaks up on you.
Yeah, this is his first time through the circuit. As we said, he came over from the National League, so this is, the American League's first shot at him. He's got 26 innings pitched in a third. He's got a funky little leg kick there. If you watch his style, he really kicks his leg and swings it around. Very deceptive. A little hard to pick up, especially the first time you see him.
Great pickup by Jerry DiPoto, the GM of the Angels. Got him on May 3rd, and he got him for 2 minor leaguers, Alexi Amarista and Don Roach. And the Padres knew he was a decent pitcher. I don't think they saw this. Jordan Walden closed for them last year, and he has really struggled. And he blew some saves last year for them as well. Here's the 2-2. 3-2.
He's not comfortable to hit off of. There's a lot of motion there, and the leg kick I mentioned, and obviously a very live arm, and the ball is moving all over the place. And you see everything's coming up roses right now. I think you judge a closer when things start going bad, and he starts blowing a couple. I think you're going to get a better read on Ernesto here. But what a start, as Michael noted. I mean, just incredible numbers coming into this game.
And Cano worked the walk. I think Cano's just happened to be out of the box there.
Well, you never know. A lot of these closers just don't throw well when they don't come in in a save opportunity. And now you've got a 5-run lead. But, after the All-Star break, he hasn't thrown the whole series.
Now, we don't know if the Yankees are going to come back, but the Yankees have an 8-game lead in the East. And if they keep winning series, they would have loved to have swept this series, but they took 2 out of 3 from the Angels. They'll take that. Next up, 3 games against the Blue Jays, then on the West Coast swing. And you never want to set your sights low. But if the Yankees play 500 ball the rest of the year, they're in pretty good shape. And this team is not a 500 team. They're going to play better than 500 ball. So they took the first 2 games and, again, would have liked to have had this, and they're still not out of it, but not a bad weekend against a good team.
Tampa Bay's playing Boston, so every day you win when your division rivals are playing each other. You're picking up games on people, and you're separating people in your division. So it sets up series where Boston and Tampa Bay are going to have must wins every time they play the Yankees, and that's a tough way to play as good as the Yankees are.
Right now in St. Pete, top of the 6, Boston 7, Tampa Bay 3. The Orioles are trailing Detroit 3-0 in the top of the 8th. And Toronto has already beaten Cleveland 3-0. Nancy's going to have all of those scores and highlights on the postgame show, so stay tuned for that. That one is drilled deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. The first 2 runs allowed by Ernesto Frieri as an Angel, and the Yankees still in this. They trail 10-7.
I don't know if he's thrown 10, 11, 12 pitches this inning, but every one of them have been fastballs. And Mark Teixeira just timed one up.
Well, Teixeira, it's like trying to sneak a piece of cheese by a rat. I mean, this guy's always ready to hit a fastball. Out away from him so he can get lift and separate. And he knows it right off the bat.
And Frieri now has an Angel ERA.
It's funny because Downs had come in here the first night, hadn't done given up anything in the first half. Frieri hadn't even been scored upon as an Angel. Sudden wake-up call after the All-Star break in Yankee Stadium.
Two 2-0. That's why the Yankees have the record they have, because their bullpen has been so good this year. Their bullpen comes in and stops teams, and what they did in the 8th and the 9th inning is very unlike them, because they can score against anybody, as you just saw.
It's the difference in the game right now. The 3 runs in the top of the 8th and the 1 in the 9th. Yankees now down by 3 runs, and those tack on 4 runs and the suicide squeeze by Scioscia. You know, Mike Scioscia knew that too, and that was a great play. You know, he's not feeling comfortable right now. He knows what can happen here.
Well, there's still 3 big outs to go, but you know, if you're a Yankee fan and you complain about, you know, they only hit home runs, but you know, home runs, they add up, and it's not just home run here or there. It's day in and day out. These guys are scoring runs by hitting home runs, and especially at home. Going up 7, 8, 9 runs a game, you're going to win a lot of games.
Having a hard time throwing strikes. 3-1. Pop up. And that'll make the seats. Swisher just wants to get on base. Fouls it back.
Not the inning of work that Mike Scioscia had in mind to bring in his closer the first time after the All-Star break. Gets real interesting here. Swisher can find a way to work a walk or get on base. You know, on the season combined stats, he did have 21 walks in 38 innings. So if there's one sort of thing you're looking at in the numbers, it's control.
Swisher very lucky he got a piece of that ball because it's heading down the middle of the plate. I'm very surprised though, Coney. It's fastball every pitch. He hasn't changed anything there.
Yeah, the scouting report on him was his fastball moves all over the place. You know, sometimes those guys can get wild. You see, he shakes off to get off of the fastball right there. Wilson didn't like it. Wilson gave him the fastball 2-3 times, and then Frieri shook him off, and wanted to get to number 2. So we'll see what number 2 is.
Weird to get to number 2 when you're 3-2, about 20 pitches into the inning. Right?
Tries to get him back to the fastball. Wilson got him back on it.
And he walked it. So Swisher is on base. Things are getting interesting here in the bottom of the 9th.
It's good test here, you know, when you haven't given up anything coming into this game, and now all of a sudden, yeah, you're on the line.
It's kind of a shock to your system. All of a sudden, you see guys running around the bases, and it's just you're so used to just coming in and mowing people down.
Well, you've got some lefties here that can take you deep. You know, Swisher, you walk. Now you got Ibanez and Chavez on deck.
Way outside.
That tells you something right there. Mike Scioscia not going to let this go much further. Scioscia sends his catcher out to talk to the pitcher, who's not happy about it, just to give Scott Downs a little more time to warm up. Tim Welke, the home plate umpire, is not going to have it. He's going to walk out and break it up pretty quick.
Boy, look at Tim Welke. His shirt is soaked through. His pants are soaked through. That's a long day behind the plate for Tim.
He's had a good game today, too, for the most part. You know, and Tim's had a rough year. If you remember, he's the one who had that call in Colorado when Todd Helton was way off the bag.
Oh, yeah.
That one went viral on YouTube. So But he's had a good day today.
10-7. Angels lead the Yankees. We're in the bottom of the ninth. 2 runs already in. Runner on first, nobody out.
Think over to first base here.
He's coming from the bench, trying to get. Yep, you see, that's it. That's what they're doing. They're just stalling, and that's going to be it.
I think Social wants this game. He wants to escape New York with a victory, and he has taken out his previously unscored on closer, Ernesto Frieri. That is it for him. So Yankees will feel good about it if they see this kid in the postseason. But now Mike Scioscia is going to try to close it out with Scott Downs, who had his troubles on Friday. Yankees got it to 1.47, and with one swing on Friday night by Mark Teixeira, the Yankees tied the game at 5. Can they make some more noise against Downs here in the bottom of the ninth inning? He takes over against Ibanez with a 1-0 count.
And I think this is a really good move by Mike Scioscia. Protect your young closer. It was starting to get ugly, and you've got the Yankee lefties here, and the way the ball's flying today, this is the right move.
And there's a strike. Yankees get one more guy on, and that brings a tying run to the plate. And you've got Andrew Jones that could use off the bench. He could certainly run into one. Oh, knocked down by Downs. Knocked his glove off. And everybody's safe. Now the tying run will come to the plate.
Downs asking Ibar, would you have had that? But then, if you're a pitcher, it's such a natural reaction. Ibar said maybe. This ball's hit kind of hard. I don't think so. That ball's going to be on the other side of second base.
I agree. This ball's headed up the middle. And as a pitcher on the mound, you just have no choice. You just react. You're into lip reading. He's asking Ibar, would you have had it? Ibar says maybe. Ibar's lying.
Yeah, trying to help him.
But Ibar's got range, so maybe he thought he could have got it.
All right, see, we said they might go to Andrew Jones as a tying run, and they do. So Jones will pinch it for Chavez, and what a day Chavez had. He was 3 for 3 with a home run, 2 runs scored. battling, showing grit. And Jones has great numbers against Downs. 5 for 12. It's starting to rain a bit here at Yankee Stadium as well.
We talked coming into the game, Coney, this is just one of those hitters' days. And you look up at the board, 27 hits so far between two teams. A lot of home runs. This game is far from over.
Count 1-0.
Andrew Jones has just been swinging the bat so well recently, too. He just annihilated Fenway Park when he was up there.
Downs almost like throwing darts out there. Anything he can do to just get a little downward movement and keep the ball out of the middle of the plate. Doesn't want anything that Andrew Jones can get up in the air.
Russell Martin's had a rough day, and he's on deck. Jones is in his long ball streak right now. Of his last 9 hits, 4 of them have left the park. They'll make it 5 of them. Count 1 and 2.
Such a hard position as Andrew Jones. You come up as a pinch hitter and you try to block it out of your mind, but you're really up there for one reason, and that's to try to hit a ball out of here and tie this game up. Downs knows it, and he's taking a little bit off, trying to sink the ball away. Now with 2 strikes, you just got to become a hitter. Try to drive one up the middle, try to put the ball in play.
Just got a piece and a piece of Wilson as well.
Even with 2 strikes, Andrew Jones's approach does not change. He's trying to reach out there and hook that outside sinker.
I think it's, I'm sorry, Coney, fresh in Downs' mind. I mean, that ball that he gave up, that big home run to Teixeira, was a hanging curveball. So I don't think that you forget about that. He hasn't gone to a curveball in this count.
One, 2. 2.
All of a sudden, pitching look a little tight, don't they, Tony?
Well, you've been sitting around watching 27 hits all day. You come in the game, you can't help but take notice. You see Butcher's on the horn again.
And the 2-2. Struck him out. 1 away. First out of the bottom of the 9th. And they get LaTroy Hawkins up.
Russell Martin, he's had a couple weird at-bats where he tried to bunt and then he grounded out. So he's due. This is a big opportunity for him to keep this thing going.
And if he's watching that last at-bat, then he's got to be looking to shoot the ball the other way. And Martin's very capable of doing that. We've seen him hit home runs to right field as well. But if you're watching Downs out there and the way he's working, you got to be looking the other way.
Grounded to short. They get 1. No return throw. And that'll bring up Jeter. As Swisher moves to 3rd.
Well, Downs gets what he wants, gets exactly what he wants. He gets Martin to roll over on that sinker. The only problem is you got Ibanez bearing down and just not enough time to turn it.
Here's the captain. He is 1 for 4 today. Had an RBI single in the 2nd inning. Single to center. Now, if Derek could somehow get on, that would bring up Granderson as the winning run.
This has been Derek's been very good. He's very good at just taking what the pitcher gives you here, getting out of the home run mode, shoot the ball to right field, just keep it going.
Pitch outside.
It's funny how Downs was so much more into that curveball and that cutter, and he's really stuck with that sinker today. He didn't want anything up in the air today.
Look at those numbers, 7 for 12 against Downs. And the 1-0. 2-0. Now a new reliever up in the pen. It's Kevin Jepson.
Throw we saw the other day. Now, Coney, if you're the pitcher here, I mean, you can't throw Jeet something that he wants because he's a tying run, but you can't really just give in because then you got the winning run.
You stay with that sinker, you stay down.
The 2-0. 3-0. Any chance Jeter has a green light?
You know, either way, Jeet's the type of hitter, he's not going to swing it. You know, he's smart enough as a baseball player in my mind that Joe really doesn't even have to put on a sign. Jeet's going to make this guy throw a strike.
I think so. And Downs is featured sinkers. Even on a 3-0 pitch, you're going to get some movement on his fastball. It's not like he's throwing straight type fastballs.
And he walked him on 4 pitches to load the bases and bring up Granderson as the winning run. Butcher wearing out a path to the pitcher's mound as he tries to nurse this staff through this game. And the numbers certainly lean in favor of the Angels and Downs. Granderson has never had a hit against Downs. He's 0 for 12. But remember, on Friday, he worked an all-important walk before the Teixeira home run. So he saw the ball well on Friday. Bottom of the ninth as the Yankees try to win this game and come from behind fashion. Bases loaded. They trail 10-7 and Granderson is at the plate. There's a strike.
First curveball you've seen this inning, and he's snapped it out to a lefty where you have a much better way to, you know, get ahead. See, it falls up, it ends up in a good spot.
Good break to it. You could get the sense that Downs wanted no part of Jeter. This is the matchup he wanted, even though if it represents the winning run.
The 0-1. Another breaking ball misses, 1-1. In the 6th inning, Granderson with a solo home run, his 25th home run of the year. More home runs than any other Yankee. In the Great Hall, they were thinking about leaving, but now they're going to watch on the big screen to see what happens in this at bat. 1-1. 1-2.
Every once in a while, you just look at the pitch. Now that ball was hittable right there. That ball didn't end up on the outside corner. It ended up in the middle of the plate. And that's the ball that you can hit from the lefty.
He just could have waited a little longer. You see Granderson out in front. Timing's just a little bit off there, but Paulie's right. I mean, that was in a location that could have been launched.
A double probably ties the score. You don't have to go for the homer, but count 1 and 2. Bases loaded, bottom of the 9th inning. 10-7 Angels lead. That one is drilled to right field. Is it fair? Foul ball. It kept hooking, and it's a foul ball.
A lot of the fans holding their head, thought they got it. And Granderson again. Got a pitch up in the zone. He's gone to all breaking balls, and that's over the middle of the plate, too, and he knew it. You see Granderson's reaction. Just pulling the trigger a little bit too quick. If your approach is the right center there, that ball's in the seats. It's so hard as a hitter to wake back when you see that.
How many mistakes can you expect again in one at bat?
He's gotten 2, but the funny thing in this, it's been all breaking balls. It's been 5 or 6 consecutive breaking balls where he stayed away from it completely with the right-handed hitters.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. And the pitch. Check swing. 2-2. And on deck is Alex Rodriguez.
Miss as a pitcher a couple of times with that curveball over the plate, you're going to make sure you get this one away.
See, this is kind of an alligator arm slider here. I've thrown many of those in my career. You're going to make sure it's going in the dirt. You kind of short arm it in there. Now right back to 2-2. Granderson fighting. Interesting to see if Downs is going to try to maybe cross it up and sneak a fastball in there, but Granderson's such a good fastball hitter. Decisions.
Foul back. A nail-biting bottom of the 9th inning.
Another breaking ball. And as a hitter, I'll tell you, you really do have to stay away from the pitch selection and say that, that he can't go back to it. He can't go back because you start playing. You just have to see the ball at this point. Again, this is another high. He took a little break off of that, almost like a slider.
Babe Ruth is calling the shot.
Impressive.
Let's see if it works like it did in Chicago. The 2-2. Just missed, and the count now full at 3-2.
He did try to sneak that one fastball, and I would bet money he'll go back to that curveball 3-2.
That's my bet, too. You can see even with that fastball there, he sort of gator armed that one down and to make sure I get this one down and away like you're throwing darts. But it just looks like Downs wants to get him out with the curveball.
And you see the outfielders almost on the warning track. 1-0 over their head. No doubles.
Runners will go on 3-2, 2 outs.
See Trout all the way out there on the warning track.
3-2. He walked him. That forces in a run. Angels 10, Yankees 8, and now A-Rod will come up with the bases loaded, and he's probably going to face Jepson. What an at-bat for Granderson. Missed some that he might have been able to hit out, but he kept battling, kept grinding, and Downs could not throw a strike when he had to. So he forces in a run, and the Angels bullpen in the process of a bottom of the 9th inning implosion. So Socia will signal to his bullpen and hold his breath. Just a quick stat before we leave you. 0 for 6 A-Rod is against Jepson.
Well, you see the first one looked good right there. Second one just off. Another breaking ball right there. Another one. Boy, that we thought maybe he got that one. Now he makes sure he gets it away. Hangs another one. Down and away with the fastball. And there's ball 4. Good at bat by Granderson right there.
All right, here's Alex Rodriguez with the bases loaded. 23 grand slams in his career. A single would do it here to tie the game. Jepson against A-Rod. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. Now, the 70 home runs, you can explain that. He spent a lot of his career with the Rangers and the Mariners, so a disproportionate number of games against the Anaheim Angels, now the LA Angels, and those are the numbers for Jepson. And this is the guy they bring in to close this game, as two of their better relievers could not get the job done. Bases loaded, Yankees trail by 2. The 0-1. 1-1.
Alex been very aggressive today, as you see the grand slams most all time. Pretty good name he's tied with right there, Luke Gehrig. But Alex got a 97-mile-an-hour fastball on the first pitch and was right on it. Kind of scared him off of it. Just got a slider that he took.
And the 1-1. 97 blew it right by him. 1-2.
That ball out of the zone, and that's the thing, when you gear up for that fastball, you got to still remember you got to stay in the zone. You gear up for it, you see it, you swing at it, and then you realize that it was eye high. Tough to catch up to that one.
3 runs already in the bottom of the 9th. Yankees trying for an improbable comeback. They trail 10-8. Bases loaded, A-Rod at the plate. The 1-2. 98 miles an hour. 2-2.
Sosa surely doesn't want to see that guy come up in this inning. He wants to get it done right here. Alex got to make sure, just like Paulie said, get a good ball to hit.
And the 2-2. Popped up. Pujols backs up. Calls everybody off. Makes the play. And the Angels hold on to win 10-8 as Alex pops up with the bases loaded and throws his helmet away in frustration. Well, the Yankees gave it a run, and they fall just short in their attempt to sweep the Angels. And the Angels will get on that plane in a hurry and get out of Dodge as they dodge a sweep, and Jepson comes in to get Alex Rodriguez. Well, stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy Player of the Game.
Well, he did get a good ball to hit. It was a strike, middle in, but it's 98 miles an hour. So you got to be quick to get to that. He just got beat.
So Alex with a home run and a single before that finishes 2 for 5. The Yankees finish 2-1 as they take 2 of the 3 games against the Angels. So the Angels hold on. They win 10-8. We have an award to give out, then Nancy and Meredith after that.